LSU taking the victory 12-7. Samuel Dutton will be on the mound to start for LSU. Georgia will send up Anderson, Acton, and Tate. That's been their starting three all weekend long. Earlier today, thunderstorms in the area, but clearing out around 10 a.m. Let's give you your game day weather report brought to you by Accutemp. Chance of power outages never. Get a whole home generator from Accutemp. Keep the power in your hands. Currently, just before first pitch, 79 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Looks like right now, although they were afraid maybe a chance of precipitation later in the afternoon, that's holding off on an updated forecast. Looks like we'll be cloudy and hanging out around 79, 80 degrees for the rest of the day. Should have a clear window to decide this series between the Dogs and the Tigers. Before we get started, let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball on the LSU Sports Radio Network. LSU donning their Sunday gold jerseys, white pants, traditional LSU purple lids. For Georgia, they'll go with the gray jerseys, gray pants, little red pinstripe down the side, red numerals and names on the back, and bright Georgia red batting helmets. Hunt Palmer, we talked before the game how important this is for both Georgia and for LSU. Obviously, the Bulldogs a distant second, as is everybody else in the SEC when it comes to following Tennessee. LSU came into the weekend tied with Auburn for second behind Arkansas. Razorbacks had one loss to Ole Miss over the weekend, but LSU unable to gain any ground and now find themselves trying to keep up with A&M and Auburn once again, who both trail Arkansas in the SEC West. Not a must-win in your mind, but it's up there.
It's a big, big game for both teams. These are teams that want to host regionals, want to host super regionals, and you got to start socking these SEC wins away. You got a rubber match, and it's a gorgeous day to do it. Let's roll.
Dutton ready to work. Anderson digs in. The left-handed hitter again batting .294, and the first delivery misses low. Ball one. We are underway. Time of first pitch, 1:03 Central Time. Anderson started off the weekend with a single on Friday night. This one misses outside from Dutton, make it 2-0. He's 2 for 9 on the weekend for .222 against the Tigers. But he causes trouble when he gets aboard. This one lifted foul and out of play. Our first foul ball presented by Rotolo's Pizzeria. Remember, they got the dough you really want. Come on in, have a drink or two. They'll fix you up something new. Slide into a Rotolo's near you. Georgia, a lot like LSU, not known for stealing bases, but Anderson steals the most. He's 7 of 8 on the season. Fouls another one back, spoils that fastball from Dutton, and it's 2-2.
Dutton making a 6th SEC start, and they don't ask him to do much. Florida 3 2/3 innings, again against Auburn 3 2/3, 3 against Mississippi State, 4 against Arkansas.
2-2, swing and a miss. Elevated that one and a tad outside, and Anderson couldn't stay away. Down on strikes, and Dutton starts it off with a punch out. Brought to you by Super One Foods. Great quality at super low prices. He really likened Dutton and what he's able to do and what he hopes he's able to do. That's Coach Jay Johnson. Similarly to Mikhail Hilliard, who we saw on Friday night. Again, a guy who's going to give up some contact. If the defense will back you up, he still can find his spots, as we saw a moment ago. There's a strike across the plate with a breaking ball, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, Dutton stuff's not going to wow you. It's a fastball right around 90 miles an hour. It's a nice breaking ball. He's been very poised.
This pitch just misses somewhere. Not sure where, but it's 1-1.
And he's pitched himself out of some jams early in games. Generally speaking, they have created some traffic against him, but he's been able to wiggle out of it more often than not.
The 1-1 sails high, not by much, but misses the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. Our umpiring crew again. Fred Cannon down at first today. Eric Gaucher at second base. Danny Cricks down the line at third, and veteran Jeff Head behind the plate, calling balls and strikes. The 2-1 pitch to Acton. Swing and a miss. Got that fastball by him, and it evens it up 2-2. 6 home runs by Georgia in yesterday's game. Acton, of course, had the 2-run blast to give Georgia a 2-0 lead early there in the top of the first inning, his 3rd of the year. This one's lifted in the air. Shallow center field. Cruz having to come in on the run, diving, and Cruz holds on for the out. Looked like maybe Thompson would have a play, tailing back at short. But Cruz was at a full sprint coming in and again diving back towards the infield. Never an easy play when you leave your feet coming towards the baseball that's coming right at you. But he put the glove on it, holds on, spins over, and it's the second out of the inning.
Acton showed his power yesterday with 2 homers. Cruz played him pretty deep there. That ball was not hit very far. He came a long way from center field, and he needed every bit of his speed and athleticism to run that one down. A heck of a play by Dylan Cruz out in center field.
Now Connor Tate stands in. The right-hander takes the first offering, a breaking ball missing low, and it's 1-0.
You mentioned those 6 Georgia home runs yesterday by 3 players, 3 guys with 2 home runs. You don't see that very often.
Connor Tate has shown his power this weekend. He's got 8 home runs on the year as he sends this one back into the screen. And the fastball makes it 1 ball and 1 strike.
Another good day to hit today. Maybe not as good as yesterday when the wind was really whipping out to center field, and you saw that with the amount of home runs that were hit. But flags are favoring left field a little bit. Weather's heated up. You expect the run numbers to go up around the box.
2 outs, the 1-1. Off the hand, a little bouncer gets by a reaching Berry at third. I mean, just a little knock off the bat. Berry was playing near the line at third, moving to his left. Thompson no chance to get to it, and it just took the 1 hop, and it was out of the reach of Berry. So a 2-out single. The other thing maybe missing in all the home runs yesterday for Georgia was their ability to get the 2-out hit and extend innings, and they've done it again here in the top of the first inning, as we'll see Corey Collins. By the way, Georgia on the season, even with yesterday's 6 home run display, 52 homers on the year to 73 for LSU this season. Breaking ball tails inside to the left-hander, swing and missed by Collins, and it's 0-1.
Georgia is, I think, better than the sum of its parts. They have dealt with some injuries in the pitching staff, no doubt about it, but when you look at them statistically speaking, they don't jump off the page really anywhere, yet they find themselves in really good shape over in the SEC East.
Yeah, with 30 wins, they're finding some way to do it. This one misses outside. The fastball from Dutton evens it up, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, came into the weekend 5th in batting average in the SEC, slightly behind LSU. Again, their offensive numbers, middle of the pack. Pitching numbers, again, due to those injuries, kind of lower end of the SEC. This one popped out foul and out of play left side. But they find ways to win. 30-13, 12-8 in SEC play. And it's interesting, I had the conversation earlier today about this time of year, we all tend to do it. How many wins is it going to take, A, to get into a regional, B, to host or possibly host a regional? And the thing's a little bit different this year, and I think part of that is due to the success of the Atlantic Coast Conference. The 1-2 misses low. That'll make it 2 balls, 2 strikes now to Collins. And I'm not comparing the ACC to the SEC. I don't want to bring that up. But simply there's been some success over there, and you've got a lot of bottlenecking throughout the season in the SEC with some really good teams, really good players. What is it going to take this year to solidify? There's a swing and a miss by Dutton. He gets the punch out. Strikes out 2 to start the top of the first inning. And Georgia will strand that 2-out single at first base. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left on. We'll continue our conversation about the regionals when we come back. Tigers come to the plate first. No score after a half inning on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Scoreless game. We've played a half inning. We go to the bottom of the first inning. LSU sending to the plate Cruz, Berry, and Doty to start off for Jay Johnson here in this deciding game 3. Continuing our conversation, Hunt, my point to you was, at what number do you feel comfortable for any team in the SEC to A, get into a regional, B, possibly host? You look at the ACC, Louisville 30-12, 13-7 in league play. Notre Dame 27-10, NC State 28-10. Wake Forest only 10-11 in the league, but they're 31-13. Obviously, RPI, strength of schedule, all going to have a factor into it. But for the SEC this season, what do you think is that magic number?
LSU got into the tournament last year at 13-17 in the league. That doesn't make me feel comfortable. 14's where I feel very comfortable that you will get in. 17's where you start talking about hosting a regional.
Cruz stands in. The first pitch offered up by Sullivan, the left-hander. A strike on the outside corner. Fastball at 91. The 0-1 delivery. Swing and a miss. Cruz falls behind early. 0-2. Dillon this weekend 1 for 6. Now the 1 was a blasted home run to left center field, but coming off a Tuesday performance where he went 0 for 5, certainly he's looking to get back on track here in game 3. Here's a swing. Here's a drive. This ball is gone off the top of the scoreboard in left field. Another baseball absolutely crushed off the bat of Dylan Cruz, and he leads it off for the Tigers with a solo shot to make it 1-0. LSU home run number 12 for Dylan Cruz.
Chris, I've never thought about this, so I don't have the answer. Is there a net up there where it says Alec Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field? It either hit that, it would have gone over the scoreboard. That's one of the longest home runs I have ever seen in this ballpark.
There is a screen over the video board. There is no screen, I do not believe, for the Alec Box Stadium, Skip Bertman Field signage above it. And you're exactly right. It came off that area. I don't know if it caught one of the steel poles, if it caught the sign, but it was absolutely on its way to football operations off the bat of Dylan Cruz.
That was something. I've been coming to games since they opened this place in 09. I haven't seen many hit better than that.
Jacob Berry stands in. First pitch, ground ball towards third, trying to short hop Buddy Floyd. Can't come up with it. Hits the heel of the glove and caroms to his left, and Berry will be aboard safely at first.
They'll score that one an error, I'm sure. Not a very difficult play. The third baseman coming in there. Buddy Floyd just kicked it on the short hop. Berry doesn't run great. Had time to scoop it and make the throw, but just kicked it. LSU will take it.
So the Tigers, much like yesterday, Coach Jay Johnson said against Jonathan Cannon, he raved about he is arguably the best pitcher in the SEC. LSU against the Georgia starter, very aggressive and very successful. Cannon in 5 innings gave up 8 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and just 1 strikeout. Very similar tact here for LSU as they come right at Sullivan. Home run to the top of the scoreboard in left by Cruz. Again, swinging on the first pitch. Berry able to get aboard, even though they give him the infield single. First pitch to Doty, a called strike, and it's 0-1. Cade this weekend batting .286 against the Dogs, and he laces this one down the line, but it drops foul just beyond the bullpen in left. Swatted by Doty. Just couldn't line it up. Count remains 0-2. Cade this weekend 2 for 7. Again, also had a home run. His 1 run scored. The wind yesterday, for the most part, was up and down, and it would blow out straight away behind the batter's eye. Today, it's right to left towards the scoreboard. Doty now will slap one opposite field into the seats. 8 rows up. Nice grab by a fan down there. Keeps the count 0-2 after another Rotolo's foul ball.
You mentioned LSU's effort against Cannon yesterday, and I thought that was particularly important because against elite-level pitchers, and Cannon certainly qualifies, LSU has not been great this year. They got carved up by Texas number 2 starter Hunter Barco down in Gainesville, really did a number on him. So to see the ball as well as they did yesterday should be encouraging for this offense.
The 0-2. Sullivan comes with a high fastball, and Doty can't stay away. That one eye level. Doty down on strikes, 1 away here in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, just a high heater there, well executed up at the letters, and Cade couldn't lay off it. He saw the ball pretty well early in that at bat. Just didn't see that one, and a good punch out there from Liam Sullivan.
"13 home runs by both teams in this series. Make it 14 coming in, 13 coming in, 14 now with Cruz's shot. Thompson takes the first delivery. Off speed, misses low from Sullivan. It's 1-0.
They'll shift Thompson, put 3 infielders to the shortstop side of second base. Wide open right side of the infield as they hold the runner Barry at first.
Sullivan to the plate. Misses for ball 2, 2-0.
It's the 4th SEC start for Sullivan through 3 SEC starts, 12 2/3 innings pitched, 14 hits, 10 earned runs, struck out 14, only 3 walks. Been in the strike zone all year long.
2-0 delivery. In on the hands, popped up shallow left center field, giving chase. It'll drop between Anderson and McAllister, the shortstop, safely onto the left center field grass. And Thompson with the bloop single has runners first and second now for LSU with 1 out.
That was a jam shot. Didn't hit that one very well at all. You can see the center fielder Anderson coming in as hard as he could, but it was pretty obvious from his body language early on that he was not going to get to that one. Just a bloop single, and LSU now all of a sudden has a couple of guys on. Neither one of them hit it very well, but they're certainly on base.
Third hit of the weekend for Jordan Thompson. He's now 3 for 7 against the Bulldogs. Now we'll see Trey Morgan. Morgan hitting .375 against dog pitching, 3 for 8 with a run scored. First pitch in the air to left center field. Giving chase is Tate, and Tate, the left fielder, a couple of steps on the track, able to get to it for out number 2. Given a ride by Morgan, again opposite field, but Tate able to run it down.
Really good swing there by Trey Morgan. He hit the ball much better than Barry or Thompson did, but obviously Tate runs that one down. Good base running by Barry. Great read at second base to realize that ball was going to get run down. He tags from second base and moves over. Morgan did what he should have done. He went halfway and obviously has to retreat. So now runners at the corners for McManus.
Tyler McManus, sophomore, started the first 2 games behind the plate. Again with the left-hander Sullivan in. Jay Johnson wanting right-handed bats in. He'll be the DH today. Runners first and third for the Tigers. First delivery breaking ball called strike. We talk about LSU not using the steal game much here in 2022, but they do have some great base runners. Jacob Berry actually is near the top. Very smart base running player for the Tigers. Again, took the advantage with that ball deep to left field to make his way to third to give the Tigers a chance to try to add to their 1-0 lead. Swing and a miss by McManus now, puts him behind in the count 0-2.
McManus getting the nod here as the DH, right-handed bat against the left-hander. Jay Johnson wanted to get as many right-handed bats as he could in the lineup. The only two left-handed bats in the lineup, Trey Morgan and, of course, Braden Joubert.
Berry down at third. Thompson with the bloop single stands at first base. With 2 outs, the Tigers up 1-0. The 0-2 comes in high from Sullivan on the fastball. This time McManus stays away, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You got that strike 2 pitch by McManus up in the strike zone. Tried it again. McManus laid off. I would imagine might be something spinning low here.
Sullivan, the big left-hander, comes set. The 1-2. Fastball again, high in the zone. McManus kept the bat on the shoulder. After falling behind 0-2, he now evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dylan Cruz led off the inning with a cannon shot to the top of the scoreboard to make it 1-0 LSU. 2-2, swing and a miss. This one a fastball at 93, gets by McManus, and that'll do it for LSU in the bottom of the first. But they take the early lead. 1 run on 3 hits. They leave 2 men on. Dylan Cruz with the big shot to left field gives the Tigers a 1-0 lead early. Top of the second coming up. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Well, if you love the long ball, this has been your series. 14 home runs so far between Georgia and LSU. And what do you expect? The bottom of the first inning, Dylan Cruz gets a 1-0 lead for LSU on the 14th home run of this series. Cruz goes deep and high to left field for his 12th home run of the year. Georgia comes to the plate. Parks Harbor played game 1 and game 2 at third base, handling first base duties for Coach Strickland here in game 3. Stands in. The first pitch from Dutton misses low off speed, and it's 1-0. Harbor this weekend for the Dogs got in on the home run act in game 2 yesterday. Here's a swing and a miss to even it up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Actually seeing the ball pretty well. 4 for 9 in this series with 3 runs scored, 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in. Off the bat, pop fly, just shallow second base, and maybe a step or 2 on the right field grass. Doty backs up, fields it, and 1 gone.
You're talking about the long ball and the one Cruz just hit. I'm racking my brain. I'm trying to think of a longer home run that I've seen here at the box. I know Mikey Matuk hit one against Harvard back in, I believe, 2010 or 2011 with the old bats that was potentially over the scoreboard. I'm having trouble coming up with another one. I put it out on Twitter to those that follow me. Can anyone remember a longer one than that? I'm still a little shook after that.
That'll bring Cheney Rogers. He's in right field today. Played the first 2 games at first base. Dutton misses, setting him up low, 1-0. Goes opposite field, launched in the air. Drew Bianco going back, shy of the track. He'll stop, wait for it, squeeze it for out number 2.
Dutton off to a good start there, inducing some weak contact and churning through outs. As we mentioned in the first inning, he's worked his way into some trouble early in games in his starts, but more often than not has found a way out of it. I remember his first start against Florida. They loaded the bases against him in the first, but he was able to get through it and get through a couple more innings before he handed the ball off to the bullpen. That's all Jay Johnson's asking him to do. Get me 9 outs, get me 11 outs, and then we'll go to the pen, and he's off to a good start right now.
Josh McAllister, the shortstop, batting an even .500 this weekend, 4 for 8. Has a double against the Tigers this weekend. Puts this one foul back into the backstop. 0-1 the count. By the way, the official stat data on that Cruz home run, again, its progress impeded by the top of the scoreboard. You have to keep that in account. As Dutton misses with a fastball. Boy, looked good on the outside corner. Jeff Head says no. It's 1-1. But when it was stopped by the scoreboard, 433 feet. Here's a swing and a miss. That time a little elevated fastball. McAllister comes up empty. 1-2. He falls behind. Again, came off the bat 106 miles an hour at an angle of 35 degrees from Dylan Cruz. McAllister sends this one out to right center field, but there's Dylan Cruz coming over to his left. Plenty of room and plenty of time to make the play for out number 3. Georgia goes in order. 3 up, 3 down in the top of the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Tigers leading 1-0. They'll have Travinsky, Jobert, and Bianco. 7, 8, and 9 due up when we continue. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. 1-0 LSU leads. Dylan Cruz with a home run to left field on the top of the scoreboard. The difference in this game early. LSU coming to the plate. Travinsky, Jobert, and Bianco due up. Face off against Liam Sullivan, who starts his second inning of work today. And Hunt, you asked Twitter to answer it. Nobody gives you an answer faster.
They're all over
than
it.
Twitter.
Greg Dykman against Hofstra, 486.
Yeah, that was a
over
monster.
the Intimidator.
I thought you were referring to home runs to left field. That's where I was going, but yes, indeed. That one over the Intimidator, 486 feet by Dykman, was something to behold. Here's the 1-0 to Travinsky. He swings and misses at a fastball again. Sullivan able to get the Tigers to chase that high fastball. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Travinsky getting the start today. Again, another right-hander in the lineup against Sullivan. They'll have the shift on against Travinsky as the pitch comes in. Misses low and inside. 2-1 now, the count to Hayden.
Another one that's getting some love, obviously the opposition, Brett Eibner, big two-way player for Arkansas. I was here for that one, cleared the scoreboard in left field. I do remember that one. It was a little bit more pulled than the one Cruz just hit, but I do remember it.
2-1 is a strike right at the knees. 2-2 now, the count to Travinsky. Hayden batting for the 50th time of the season. Been part of that platoon mix behind the plate catching along with Tyler McManus. 2-2, fouled and sent back into the screen. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fans just like the winning lineup. Cintas has the all-star services for all of your business needs. Everything from uniforms to kitchens and restroom solutions. So get ready for the workday with Cintas. 2-2 delivery. Off the end of the bat, foul. Again, out of play behind the plate.
A lot of fastballs from Sullivan early in this game, especially in breaking ball counts, where you would think he'd try to put guys away with the spinner. It's kind of gone to the elevated fastball more often than not. It's been 92, 91. It's a good pitch.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Sullivan to the plate. Off speed, misses outside. Again, Travinsky showing good plate discipline, stays away. Only 9 walks on the year, but Hayden's had some big ones. Jay Johnson, the first to tell you about a few of them when they needed runners aboard. 3-2. Again, he chased it upstairs. Down on strikes goes Travinsky for the 21st time this season. And Sullivan picking up his 3rd K of the game. There's 1 gone here in the bottom of the 2nd inning.
Sometimes you execute the high fastball with a 2-strike count. Sometimes you're trying to throw down the middle or on the corner at a 3-2 count and you elevate it accidentally and it works out. That was the case there. I don't think that was the pitch that Sullivan was trying to execute up at the letters, but Travinsky could not lay off of it. He's down for out number 1.
So we'll see Braden Jobert. Jobert getting the start in right field. The first pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, gets away from Gonzalez, and it's 1-0. Braden over the weekend 1 for 6 with a run scored. Again, played right field on Tuesday night over in New Orleans in the loss to UNO. Made a couple of putouts there. 1-0 off speed down the middle, evens it up. 1 ball and 1 strike. He did show a strong arm from right field. Now, he was assessed an error when he overthrew the cutoff man that eventually led to a big inning for the Privateers early in that game. But you talk about an absolute lightning bolt across the field. Breaking ball again flutters its way over the plate, and Sullivan gets ahead 1-2.
Braden's been so streaky this year. He's had times where it feels like he's carrying the offense and then times where it seems like he may never get a hit again, but he's been a nice add into this lineup that had a lot of proven pieces in it, but he's become a nice force that maybe we weren't expecting this year.
The 1-2. Gonzalez tries to frame it up. Jeff Head not buying. Missed outside. 2-2.
Sullivan wanted that one. He was already into the K strut behind the mound and realized he wasn't going to get the call.
Jobert takes some time. Now back into the box. Batting .277 on the year. The 2-2. Breaking ball doesn't break enough. Misses inside. That will fill the count now, 3-2.
For Joe Bear here, you got to think fastball's coming from Sullivan. He's leaned on that pitch really heavily the first 2 innings and just threw a breaking ball that missed. 3-2 count here. Got to think heater.
Looking for fastball, looking for it elevated. Payoff pitch, no. Breaking pitch misses outside, and Sullivan gives up his 12th walk of the year. And a one-out base on balls puts Joe Bear down at first base, and we'll see Drew Bianco. Been a while since Drew has been out there on the field. Getting the start today in left field, adding another right-handed bat. It'll be just the 17th at bat of the season for Bianco. Just for 1 for 16 on the year. First delivery. Off speed, strike, 0-1.
And Drew's played a lot of baseball for LSU, and it never quite clicked, except last year in Eugene, where he was really seeing the baseball. Hit that huge homer in the regional clinching win, and had a big RBI hit up the middle in that game as well.
Here's the 0-1. Fastball misses way high. 1 ball and 1 strike. You took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, Drew, again, has had his spots here in his time at LSU. A big opportunity for this young man in this game today. Showing bunt, and he'll drop it down. Left of the mound. Sullivan will come off, and the big left-hander fires to first to get Bianco. It will advance the runner and Joe Bear to second base now with 2 outs.
Georgia had the shift on there. Drew, I think, is bunting for a hit there. Is trying to get on. He drops it down nicely, but Sullivan, big boy, shows a little athleticism, bounces off the mound, and makes a really nice throw to first base to get him. But Tigers move one into scoring position there as you turn the lineup over.
So we get back to Dylan Cruz. Cruz did not like my assessment of his week at the plate. Prior to that pitch, he took off the top of the scoreboard.
Well, say something else negative then.
At first delivery, couldn't fully commit to the swing, and it's 0-1.
Pretty nice crowd here in Baton Rouge when you consider that most of these people were probably in Tiger Stadium, 15 hours ago.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of different numbers arriving at the ballpark today. Some got home at 1 a.m., some 2:15, anywhere from 12:30 to 3 a.m. Kind of the parameters of getting home last night. This one misses inside, evens it up to Cruz. 1 ball and 1 strike. But the overwhelming consensus was good time had by all.
It was a scene in there. I've never seen anything quite like it. There was barely a seat to be had in the entire Tiger Stadium. That includes the entire field being sold. So well over 100,000 in there, and Garth put on a heck of a show.
1-1 to Dylan Cruz. 2 outs, runner at second. 1-0 LSU leads. There's a strike at the letters. Dylan a little surprised, thought it was inside. He falls behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Take a little time, and now step back in. The 1-2 hit in the air, shallow right field. Ball though carrying out, but coming in is Rogers. He'll settle under it. He'll have it for out number 3. So the Tigers finished here in the bottom of the second inning. No runs, no hits. They do leave 1 man on. We go down to the top of the 3rd inning. Bulldogs come to the plate. They'll have Gonzalez, Floyd, then top of the order Anderson. When we return, this is Fighting Tiger Baseball. 1-0 LSU leads here in game 3. Long way left to go as Georgia comes to the plate. Gonzalez, Floyd, and Anderson do up. Gonzalez batted in the 9th spot Friday and Saturday, moves up a spot in the 8 hole here in game 3. Fernandez Gonzalez batting 2 for 7 against Tiger pitching this weekend. Dutton delivers, and the breaking ball in for a strike, and it's 0-1. What time did you happen to make it back to your castle this morning?
We had the option to walk home, which we exercised. It's about a mile and a half.
Swung on and lifted in the air. Gonzalez sends this one to right field. Joe Bear gets under it. He'll have it. 1 down.
We made it back to the residence at about 11:15, I think.
Oh, wow.
That was really early. We left a little bit early. We kind of heard what we needed to hear, see what we needed to see. It was time to head on back to the house, so we did. So I've heard a lot later times than that. I was on the early side of things there.
Surprising. Very surprising. Buddy Floyd will bat for the first time this weekend in the 9th spot. Got the start at third base for the Bulldogs. First pitch from Dutton missing. Not sure where, but it's 1-0. Maybe slightly off the plate. 1-0 pitch. That one well off the plate. Fastball. Now 2-0.
Very respecting the speed here of Floyd. He's playing a couple of steps inside the bag over there at third, looking maybe a bunt.
Inside corner. Strike delivered by Dutton. Make it 2-1. Floyd batting for just his 13th time this season. 167 average. There's the strike on the outside corner Dutton was looking for earlier. That'll leave in the count 2-2. Two comes back with a heater, swing and a miss. Floyd down on strikes, 2 gone.
Doesn't reach back for a little extra there. 93 miles an hour on the heater. We've seen him mostly at 90, 91, but with 2 strikes trying to sneak that one by the hitter Floyd, and he sure did.
We'll see Ben Anderson. He was a strikeout victim to Dutton. 1 of 3 so far on the day. First delivery, low and outside, ball 1. Anderson comes to Athens again. Played high school baseball in LaGrange, Georgia. There on the Georgia-Bama line. Near Columbus, Georgia. This one fouled back into the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Spent 1 year as a Furman Paladin, my wife's alma mater, by the way. Here's the 1-1. Ground ball towards second. Doty drops to a knee. Gloves it cleanly, throws to first for out number 3. So another clean inning of work for Sam Dutton and the Tigers. 3 up, 3 down for Georgia. No runs, no hits, nobody on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 1-0. LSU leads. Berry, Doty, and Thompson do up. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Head to the bottom of the third inning here on a Sunday afternoon in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Georgia and LSU doing battle, game 3. One of these teams trying to take the series. Just 3 more SEC weekends remain in the regular season.
Barry got off the schneid yesterday, homered from the right side of the plate for the first time all year long.
Not only a home run from the right side, but straightaway center field. Shows you how the balls were flying out of here at the park. This one from Sullivan, the first offering to Jacob Berry, way outside and high. Held on to by Gonzalez, and it's 1-0. One-0 pitch. Breaking ball for a strike, evens it up to Berry, now 1-1. So Georgia, as we mentioned, will be at home against Vanderbilt next week. Then they will try to tame the Volunteers in Knoxville May 12th through the 14th before finishing the year at home against Missouri. This one by Berry, a monster shot down the line, but it is going to go foul in left.
So there is a right-handed. There's some right-handed pop in that stroke. We were curious.
That was a towering shot, just foul. LSU, of course, will go on the road next week. They'll take on Alabama. The Crimson Tide, really one of the surprise teams in the SEC, but Georgia took 2 of 3 last weekend in Tuscaloosa, and Alabama swept by the Gamecocks this weekend. The 1-2 upstairs and in. 2-2 the count. And then LSU will be at home against Ole Miss in that great rivalry series here at the box before finishing their regular season in Music City against Vanderbilt. The 2-2. Oh, he chased one way outside. Sullivan again threw it out to the right-hander. Berry couldn't stay away, down on strikes, and Sullivan records punch out number 4.
A breaking ball there that was supposed to be a backdoor pitch, and it just kind of stayed out there. Barry kind of thought it was going to break, and it didn't. And Jay Johnson gets irritated when you take good pitches and swing at bad ones, and LSU has a couple of times extended the strike zone and with full counts and struck out on pitches well out of the zone.
So now Cade Doty, strikeout victim, his first at bat. Will try Sullivan for a second time. This one low and away, ball 1.
Again, they'll shift Doty. All 3 infielders left of first. First baseman Parks Harbor playing a few steps right of where he normally would.
The 1-0, breaking ball across for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, the SEC tournament will get underway on the 24th of May. Once again at the Hoover Met. One of the best conference tournaments in all of college athletics. The 1-1 skips off the top of the plate. 2-1 the count. Hoover does a fantastic job and has for a number of years. The Hoover Met, a couple of renovations and additions to the facility several years ago, helping to solidify its home for the foreseeable future of the SEC baseball tournament. The 2-1 fastball way outside, now 3-1. Sullivan getting a little wild here with Doty at the plate. Three-1. Strike on the outside corner surprises Cade and surprises several thousand of his friends here at the box.
Cade had already taken 2 steps towards first base, but caught the outside corner. Payoff pitch upcoming.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Cade got caught with a high fastball in his last at bat. Sullivan off speed, fools him with a breaking ball across the plate. Down on strikes for the second time, and Sullivan now racks up his 5th K. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Sullivan's done a good job of mixing his pitches. Early in the game, he was going to the high fastball a lot, not throwing very many breaking balls. Second time through the order, he's mixed in a number more breaking balls, and that one was right down the middle. Cade was looking heater, didn't get it, and obviously we'll go back to the dugout because of it.
Sullivan certainly impressive in this early start here. Was unable to go against Mississippi State, Kentucky, and against Florida earlier this season. This one again smacked but foul down the line. Finds the seats and the concourse in left. Out of play. It's 0-1. And again, to your point, Georgia has suffered in and out of injury, especially on that pitching staff.
Through 6 weekends, they had used 6 different weekend rotations. That's a tough way to make a living in the SEC, but Strickland's team's done a good job of keeping it together.
The 0-1. Down the middle, off speed. Thompson falls behind 0-2. Jordan had a single, bloop single into left center field back in the first inning, was left stranded. Two outs, the 0-2. Way upstairs. Fastball got loose. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You know, you do a daily sports talk show, and it's always SEC centric.
Right.
Certainly with an LSU flair, LSU lenses. It'd be a great idea for you to do the show from Hoover there the week of May 23rd. The 1-2. Just missed that outside corner. Sullivan thought he had it. Started to head towards the third base dugout. Jeff Head, the home plate umpire, did not agree. That'll bring him back to the rubber.
That's a great week. I love it. I've been over there a couple times for the tournament. They do an awesome job with it. However, the decision to move the show a little bit above my pay grade. Going to have to go to the suits on the 4th floor for that one.
Well, that's why I'm putting it out there. Lobbying on your behalf. The 2-2 breaking ball swung on and lifted to center field. Anderson trailing back, and he'll easily have it for out number 3. So the Tigers go quickly here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. No runs, no hits, nobody touches base. We go to the top of the 4th. LSU leading Georgia 1-0. This is Fighting Tiger baseball. Corey Acton, second baseman for the Bulldogs, will lead things off here. Start the top of the 4th inning. Samuel Dutton delivers a first pitch strike, and it's 0-1. Acton flied out to center field in his first at bat today. This delivery misses low to even it up. 1 ball and 1 strike. Acton, though, coming into today's game, really hitting the ball well. 6 of 8 through the first 2 games. 3 runs scored. There's a swing and a miss. Falls behind 1 and 2. Couple of home runs, 3 runs driven in. Dutton. The 1-2. Ground ball, reaches out with a bat, sends it to second base. Doty has it, throws to Morgan. And the 4-3 put out, 1 gone.
Very economical work by Sam Dutton early on this Sunday, and it's just what Jay Johnson needs. Obviously, you taxed your pitching staff pretty significantly yesterday in a slugfest. You need to eat innings. They haven't asked Dutton to go very far this year, but right now you're looking at only 39 pitches thus far, and he's gotten you 10 outs. So I guess they're going to see how far Dutton can get him in this game.
Connor Tate. Waits on the first delivery, down the middle for a strike. 0-1. Dutton now finding the strike zone. 27 strikes out of 40 pitches thrown. Tate a single in the first inning. He'll take a swing, ground ball to short. Short hopped, handled by Thompson. Nice throw to first in time for out number 2. So a 4-3 ground out, 6-3 ground out, 2 gone. Efficiency is the word, Hunt, for Samuel Dutton right now.
Just inducing weak contact. The ball's hit off the end of the bat. 14 hopper to Thompson, who picked it up on the short hop. And you're getting ground ball outs that aren't hit very hard, pop-ups that aren't hit very hard, a couple of strikeouts. It's been nice work by Dutton early in the game.
Corey Collins, a strikeout victim, will bat for the second time. Righty on lefty matchup. And the pitch from Dutton short of the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Collins 1 for 9 this weekend. As the 1-0 comes in, he'll send it foul down the line and out of the park. Goes over the grandstand into the parking lot left side. Certainly out of play. It's 1-1.
The next out Dutton records will tie his longest outing as a Tiger. Went 4 innings in Fayetteville this year. That's the only time he has completed the 4th.
1-1. Missing low and outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wind now has changed directions, blowing out towards Tiger Stadium. Much what we saw yesterday. There's a strike across just above the knees to make it 2-2. Two delivery. Down the middle, but called a ball.
Dutton hopped and jumped off the mound. Travinski was 4 steps towards the dugout. We'll see on the replay if that was in fact a strike. Ooh. Real close to the outside corner.
Tell you what, the bender 12-6 may have fooled Jeff Head. Here's another breaking ball, and it's fouled off on the 3-2 count into the first base dugout. Again, it had a late break. Initially, I think it was a good eye. Couldn't blame Collins for not going after it, but when it dropped in, it looked to be under the Georgia lettering of the uniform. Nonetheless, another payoff pitch coming with 2 outs. Dutton fires, and another ground ball foul first base way. Still 3-2. If you want a little fun, then play Sapphire Sevens from the lottery. You can win up to $20,000. All you have to do is stop in at any lottery retailer, pick up Sapphire Sevens for your chance to win, and get your shine on. Must be at least 21 to purchase. 1-0 LSU leading. Dylan Cruz, a solo home run in the bottom of the first. The difference in this one thus far. Payoff pitch sent back into the screen. It's now Collins battling at the plate, fighting off the strikes from Dutton. Still 3-2.
Some consecutive 3-2 breaking balls that Dutton's thrown that have caught plate, been fouled off. Really trust that pitch to throw it for a strike.
Outside corner, called strike. This time Collins can't believe it. He's not happy. He'll talk with Jeff Head. But the Southside Alabama native, Samuel Dutton, with another punch out. His 4th, another one brought to you by Super One Foods. Great quality at super low prices. And again, a very easy inning for the LSU defense. 3 up, 3 down for the Dogs. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's a 1-0 LSU lead. Tigers will send Morgan, McManus, and Travinski to the plate when we come back. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. LSU 1 run on 3 hits. Georgia scoreless, 1 hit so far off Samuel Dutton. Trey Morgan leads it off for LSU. In the bottom half of the 4th inning, first pitch, he'll sky to left field. Connor Tate coming over. Plenty of room. Left fielder will have it for out number 1.
Reports out of Knoxville, Chris, that Ben Joyce, the volunteer reliever, threw a pitch 105.5 miles per hour today, which would be the 2nd fastest pitch ever recorded in baseball, period. I realize everyone can do simple math here, but the difference between 85 mile an hour and 95 mile an hour is like decent high school pitcher to stud college pitcher. You go from 95 to 105. That's hard to comprehend.
Tyler McManus stands in. There's a 90-mile-an-hour fastball down the middle for a strike, 0-1. However, at the moment, even with 105.5 miles an hour, it's a 3-3 game, Auburn and Tennessee.
In the rubber match, Auburn trying to take a series from Tennessee for the first time all year.
There's a strike.
I kind of hope Auburn wins that game. Probably hurts LSU, but I kind of hope they win that game just to see if the polls drop Tennessee from number 1 just because they lost the series, when their record is significantly better than everyone's. Just a test.
The 0-2 misses outside to McManus. McManus, one of 5 strikeout victims to Liam Sullivan for the Bulldogs today. And he's given up 3 hits, 1 run. It was the solo shot to left field, 1 walk to 5 strikeouts. The 1-2. Breaking ball called strike. Right back across the plate, and that's strikeout number 6 for Sullivan. 2 gone.
I just know how offensive-minded Jay Johnson is and what he prioritizes in terms of pitch recognition and competitive at-bats. And for LSU to swing at pitches way out of the zone with 2 strikes and miss, and then to take balls right down the middle with 2 strikes is really going to irk him. But a really nice job thus far in the game by Sullivan. Since the Cruz homer off the scoreboard, he's been very good.
Jay Johnson going to bring Hayden Travinski, who's due up, back over to the on-deck circle. And you may have just nailed it on the head, as Jay Johnson may want to talk it over with Travinski and Joe Bear, who will be on deck here, about how to handle Sullivan. Again, gave up that blast home run to Dylan Cruz to lead off that bottom of the 1st inning, and since then has been spot on for Coach Strickland and the Bulldogs. Luckily for LSU and Jay Johnson, Samuel Dutton has been likewise. 2 outs, Travinski at the plate. Strikeout victim, his first at bat. And there's a fastball. Jeff Head says in for a strike, 0-1. Sullivan's 0-1 pitch. Off speed, misses the corner. Pitch a bit outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I like Sullivan's game. Good fastball, got 93 in the tank when he needs it, located the breaking ball well.
1-1. Breaking ball a little low this time. Make it 2-1 to Travinski.
He's pretty clearly had the Tigers off balance most of the day.
Two-1. Way out in front, swing and a miss. Got a head on that fastball again at 90 mile an hour, but Travinski pulled the trigger a little soon. It's 2-2. Two gone, bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 LSU leads. Sullivan fires and Travinski stays alive, fouls it off out of play. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification, Fighting Tiger Baseball, here on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Sullivan ready to deal the 2-2 pitch. Travinski tried to hold back, though. Appeal down to first. Fred Cannon says he did hold back. That'll move it to a full count, 3-2. 1-0 LSU leading. Waited a run on a solo shot from Dylan Cruz in the bottom of the 1st. Since then, both pitchers really dialed in thus far. Payoff delivery, breaking ball, slap, fair ball inside the 3rd base line. Got by a diving Buddy Floyd into the corner. Travinski makes the turn at first. He'll have a stand-up double with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th.
Jay Johnson loaded the lineup with right-handed hitters against this left-handed pitcher in Sullivan. That's why you get that breaking ball 3-2 and you're able to hook it down the line. Stravinsky does there. They had to shift on 3 guys on that side of second base, but that thing was hugging the line and the base, rattled down there in the corner, and a 2-out double for Stravinsky.
So that'll allow Braden Jobert to come to the plate. He earned a walk, was left stranded in scoring position at second base back in the second. The Tigers' other opportunity to build on a 1-0 lead. This time he'll be at the plate with a runner down at second base. They'll put on the shift right of second base now for Jobert, who's had to live with that going back to the Mississippi State weekend. Virtually every at-bat since has been against the shift. This one, breaking ball, misses away, 1-0.
Important for Stravinsky to handle himself at second base the proper way here with 2 outs. He's going to be able to get a pretty good lead because of the defensive positioning. He doesn't run all that well, but the Tigers certainly need him to score in the event of a single, so he's got to get a good secondary lead and get off that base.
The 1-0 to Jobert. Fastball misses inside, now 2-0.
Pretty comfortable saying Jobert's not going to be able to hit it over Cheney Rogers' head in right field. He's a step and a half in front of the warning track. Of course, when your second baseman's playing in shallow right field, that's about the only place you can play.
They'll go ahead and intentionally walk Jobert.
So
Create the force play on the diamond here. Runners first and second, and of course that'll bring up Drew Bianco now. Bianco coming to the plate. Laid down a sac bunt in his last at bat successfully, resulting in the second out of the second inning. They'll put on the shift again to the right-handed hitting Bianco. First pitch, loads the bat but holds back, rides in high, 1-0.
Generally speaking, you wouldn't walk the left-handed hitter with the lefty on the mound to get to the right-handed hitter, but in this case Bianco with just 1 hit on the year. Georgia would rather take their chances. The Tiger 9-hole hitter.
We'll see if Bianco can make them pay with 2 outs, 2 men on. The 1-0. Off speed, they'll say a strike on the inside corner. Not sure Drew agreed with that one.
Really good pitch there, 1-0. Probably looking for a fastball, and he drops that breaking ball in there on the inside corner and locked Drew up a little bit.
Sullivan comes set. Left-hander with a 1-1 delivery on its way. Missed low, make it 2-1. Again, trying to needle in on the inner part of the plate. Bianco with a good job. Stays away. Works the count 2-1. Bianco with a slightly open stance from the right side of the batter's box. Runners first and second, the 2-1. Breaking ball across the plate, Bianco. Again, looked a little fooled, couldn't decide if he wanted to pull the trigger, held back, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, you could tell Drew did not recognize that pitch at all. He was going to be way out in front of it and ended up having to take it because he got locked up. If I'm Sullivan, I'm going right back to that pitch.
The 2-2. Fastball hit in the air and foul out of play.
Tried to sneak the heater by him. Drew's a senior. He's seen a lot of college pitching. He's got pretty good hands. He's got good power. The numbers are not good. He hasn't had a lot of chances this year, but he's clearly seeing that fastball a little bit better than the breaking ball.
So Sullivan with a 2-2 count, 2 men on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Deuces wild. The pitch, breaking ball towards the alley in right center field. Anderson on the run. Also on the run is Rogers, in the right fielder, able to track it down. Make nearly a basket catch for out number 3. Good poke off the bat of Bianco. Better play in the field by the Bulldogs, Cheney Rogers. And the Tigers come up empty. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left on. LSU leads Georgia 1-0. Dogs to the plate when we come back. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Top of the 5th inning. This inning brought to you by AccuTemp Services. Don't let AC or heater outages keep you on the bench this year. Text home run to 31996. Get your Tiger tune-up from AccuTemp Services. 1-0 LSU lead. Parks Harbor for the Bulldogs leads it off. First pitch from Dutton, missing 1-0. Harbor popped out to the second baseman Doty, his first time up. He'll take a big cut here, but come up empty. Off speed from Dutton, evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. You get the sense coming into this game and now watching so far through 4 full innings that both head coaches asking their starters to really try and go the distance. Harbor slaps one to center. Cruz comes in but has to put on the brakes, take it on 1 hop, knock it down. As Harbor picks up yet another single on the weekend. Third baseman through the first 2 games. First baseman today picks up his 5th hit of the series and the leadoff man aboard for Georgia. But Hunt, again, I think LSU may be in a little better shape from a bullpen perspective than maybe the Dogs, but you can tell both pitchers trying to go pitch for pitch and inning for inning.
Yeah, these are not guys that have eaten up a lot of innings this year. This is the first time all year Sam Dutton has come out for the 5th inning. That was the best swing of the day there from Georgia so far, so Devin Fontenot has already grabbed his glove and he's headed down to the bullpen.
Quick snap throw over to first by Dutton. Back safely is Harbor.
Dutton just at 53 pitches, not overly taxed. This is just the longest in terms of outs that he's gone all year.
Pitch from Dutton and a foul bouncer to the first base dugout off the bat of Rogers. Again, the 2 names Coach Jay Johnson gave me down in the dugout, brought to you by National Trench Safety before the game. Actually, Taylor and Fontenot, the first 2 he mentioned. Here's a ground ball, sharply hit, base hit into right field. Having to slow up momentarily was Harbor, let the ball go by, but again, hit well, kind of died in the right field grass, allows Harbor even to pick it back up, go around second, make his way to third. And with nobody out now, the Bulldogs threatening runners first and third on back-to-back singles.
We talked about the weak contact that Dutton had induced through 4 innings, and that certainly was the case. But those 2 swings by Georgia, both very, very good. A line drive rocket into center field. It was hit on the screws, and that one was hit very well through the right side. No chance Trey Morgan, who was holding the runner, could make a play on it.
So now potential tying run just 90 feet away for the Dogs. Again, with nobody out. Time going to be called. McManus going to go out. Or rather, Travinsky, I should say, going to go out and visit with Samuel Dutton here. Again, by design, check on his pitcher, but also allow the dual right-handers to get throwing down in the bullpen. That'll bring Jay Johnson now out of the dugout. Make his way out there as well, bring the infield in.
I don't think Jay's in much of a hurry here. He wants to get his guys as long as he can to get those guys heated up. But Dutton's going to have to pitch here too. McAllister, the redshirt senior, he's hitting over 300. But a lot of options here for Georgia in terms of safety squeezes, sac flies, first and third plays with a stolen base. I'm sure Jay Johnson's talking a little bit of defense with his guys on the infield, as well as talking to Dutton about how they want to approach things.
You look down there to right field in the bullpen, both Fontenot and Taylor. Yet to get a catcher down, but they're not far from that, as they are both not even what you would term soft tossing. So we should see a catcher down here soon, as Jay Johnson now will head back to the dugout. And Dutton will face, again, as we said, McAllister, the shortstop, batting .303 on the season. Flew out to center field. Dylan Cruz, his first at bat of the day, but is 4 for 9 this weekend, including a double and 1 run scored. He's got Harbor at third, Rogers at first, Barry playing in at third, Morgan holding the runner on at first base. And the first pitch, fly ball to right field. Joe Bear having to go back, and on the track reaches up, makes the grab. Easily tagging in will be Harbor, and the sac fly RBI going to tie the game at 1-1. So McAllister does his job and then some. Runner will stay put. Rogers at first base, but now a tie game.
That's a good swing from McAllister to lift the ball and get it out into the outfield. Jobert, who has not played a lot of defense this year, we know has been a DH primarily for this team, got a slow jump on that ball in right field. And the wind kept pushing it and kept pushing. He had to get on his horse a little bit and got all the way to the track before he reached up and grabbed it and crashed into the wall. Nice play by a guy who has not spent a lot of time out there.
So now with one away, Gonzalez, the catcher, stands in. Breaking ball from Dutton, missing for ball one. Again, if you're Dutton, Jay Johnson again may give him the opportunity to find the next two outs with Gonzalez and Floyd at the bottom of the order. The last thing you want to do is find yourself in a jam with runners on, hitting the top of the order for Georgia. This one fouled back into the screen. It's 1-1 to Gonzalez.
Yeah, it would surprise me if Dutton faced three more hitters. I think that Fontenot and Taylor will be ready to go if it gets to the point where the top of the order for Georgia is coming through. That's the third time they will have seen him. That generally in baseball world is a time to pull your starter, and I think Jay Johnson will likely do that.
1-1. Nice breaking ball inside corner. Gets Dutton ahead of Gonzalez, 1-2. Taylor coming off a not great performance in that midweek game, as did a number of arms for LSU. This breaking ball misses from Dutton to even it up now 2-2.
I've been impressed with both starters today. You look at what these two offenses did yesterday against Cannon, who is a first-round talent, and Blake Money, who's LSU's Friday night guy at the beginning of the year. Ball was flying all over the place, and all of a sudden you get these two Sunday guys in, and they've done a really nice job.
Here, reaching out with a bat, fair ball down the line in right by Gonzalez. Into the corner, Jobert going to have to dig it out. They send the runner in, Rogers from third. And an RBI triple for Gonzalez gives Georgia a 2-1 lead. Gonzalez, first triple of the season. Just went where the pitch was laid and just popped it down the line into right.
That ball was off the plate away, and Gonzalez just did a great job to go the other way. Hit it right on the screws. It didn't swing very hard because the ball was so far off the plate, but he hit it right on the line over Morgan's head and got down there in the corner, and the merry-go-round was on. No chance for LSU to get any runner anywhere because of where that ball was placed.
So now 2 runs on 3 hits for the Dogs here in the top of the 5th inning. They now lead 2-1. 4th hit of the day for the Bulldogs, and Gonzalez down at third. Still just 1 out. And the bottom of the order, Floyd comes in. Strikeout victim to Dutton, his first at bat. The righty on lefty matchup, and there's a strike. 0-1. The 0-1, bouncing ground ball to short on the high hop. Thompson going to throw home. They got Gonzalez tied up, and the tag applied by Travinski for out number 2.
That was horrendous base running. The ball was hit on the ground. He froze, hesitated, and then almost when Thompson fielded the ball, started to go, and you can see by how out he was. He just got an awful jump on that. When you don't go on contact and the ball's hit right at somebody, you've got to stop. And Gonzalez just ran himself into an out. Very, very poor job there by the Georgia base runner.
LSU happy to take it to record out number 2 and erase the lead runner. Trailing now 2-1 to Georgia. That'll leave Floyd at first base. Anderson top of the order, and the wild pitch gets by Travinski. And Floyd didn't spend a lot of time at first. He's now into second.
Dutton there just overspun the breaking ball, and Travinski didn't do a great job of trying to get over and blocking it up. Now all of a sudden another runner in scoring position here for the top of the Georgia order.
Anderson a strikeout and a ground out so far today. Now Jay Johnson before the next pitch going to come out. And Grant Taylor, the lone reliever, up in the bullpen. Fontenot had a seat a few moments ago before that ground ball out from Thompson to Travinski to get Gonzalez. And it looks like they're going to make the call as Taylor goes over and gets a last little bit of Powerade. Now he's on his way in. So the Tigers will make a pitching change. Samuel Dutton his longest outing on the year. Unfortunately, he leaves the game. The Tigers now trailing 2-1. Grant Taylor looking for that third out here in the top half of the 5th inning. Pitching change powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Dutton gets a nice hand as he makes his way to the dugout. We'll return with more. Give you Taylor's numbers. Get back to action. 2-1. Georgia leads. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Pretty good combination this season in Game 3 for Jay Johnson has been Samuel Dutton followed by Grant Taylor. Dutton with his longest outing of the season. His Tigers had a 1-0 lead coming into the top of the 5th inning. But Georgia able to play 2 runs on 3 hits so far. With 2 outs, have another runner in scoring position. Coach Johnson now makes the call to the bullpen. Grant Taylor will take over, and again Taylor looking to improve from Tuesday's outing in New Orleans in the loss to UNO. He was the 4th pitcher of the night for the Tigers. Did not record an out, gave up 1 hit, 1 run it was earned, 1 walk, no strikeouts. But again, Taylor has been one of the solid arms out of the bullpen all season in these tight spots. His real debut came in Gainesville in a deciding Game 3 against the Florida Gators when the Tigers were able to take that series on the road. Ben Anderson, top of the order, will be the opponent at the plate he'll start with a runner down at second base and Buddy Floyd. The 1-0 misses low, and that'll make it 2-0.
Get your numbers on Taylor. This is his 13th appearance of the season. He's 4-1 with a 4.85 ERA, 26 innings of work, 26 hits. 17 runs, 14 of them earned. He has walked 12 and struck out 33.
2 outs in the inning. Taylor kicks and fires the 2-0. Swing and a miss. Nice fastball at 94. Taylor challenges Anderson.
That's what you're going to see from Taylor. Fastball in the mid-90s up to 96 at times, and a pretty good breaking ball as well. Bright future on the mound for Grant Taylor, of course, one of the 3 Taylor boys playing in the SEC.
Two-one delivery. This is low. 3-1 now the count to Anderson. Leadoff hitter for the Dogs, a strikeout and a ground out today. Two for 11 on the weekend. Anderson, the left-hander, ready to go. Taylor, the right-hander, checks the runner. 3-1. Swing and a miss. That time at 95 on the outer portion of the plate. Anderson couldn't find it. It's a 3-2 count.
That's great pitch execution. You know the fastball's coming there 3-1. You got one of the best hitters in Georgia's lineup up there, and he paints the outside corner at 94 miles an hour.
Taylor trying to keep it a one-run game, 2-1 Georgia leading. The payoff. Fouled back by Anderson. Taylor a 4.76 ERA in SEC play. Again, this is his 7th appearance in conference action. Hunt told you 13th on the year. Runner at second, 2 outs. Another payoff pitch. Belted to left field, giving chase. Bianco on the run, diving, comes up with it, slams into the bottom of the wall, but lifts up the glove. He has it for out number 3. But boy, he's a little slow to get up, now on his feet, hobbling to his teammates, but looks to be nursing one of his wings. Somehow held on, giving up the body for the team. Ends it for Georgia. However, the Dogs take the lead. 2 runs on 3 hits. They leave 1 man on. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 2-1 Dogs. LSU to the plate when we continue. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Georgia eventually gets it going offensively. Able to get 2 runs on the board in the top of the 5th inning. Took the momentum away from LSU. However, Drew Bianco with a diving catch deep in left field, barreling into the wall. May have gotten some of Omo back into the dugout. We'll see if LSU can carry that to the plate as Dylan Cruz will lead it off. He's atop the order today. 1 for 2, including a monster home run to left field off the top of the scoreboard in the 1st inning to give LSU a 1-0 lead. Liam Sullivan continuing to work. Misses low and inside with the first offering. 1-0. Georgia does have an arm, a right-hander warming. Down in the bullpen for Sullivan. The 1-0. Breaking ball breaks too far inside. 2-0.
Well, Georgia established yesterday that multi-home run games are encouraged this weekend, so we'll see if Dylan can join in the act. Of course, the Dogs had 3 of them yesterday.
2-0. Again, the breaking ball too far inside. And it's 3 balls, no strikes.
This is a spot where I'm turning my All-American loose 3-0. If you see something out over the plate, you can elevate, fire away. I know we're trailing. I know you're the leadoff man. I know it's 3-0. You're one of the best hitters in the country. If you see something you like, let it eat.
Sullivan with the 3-0 delivery. Down the middle, and there is a swing. But a foul bouncer left at third base. Makes it 3-1.
3-0 green light coming more and more common as pitchers become less predictable with what they're going to throw. There was a time where if you got 2-0, 3-1, you were always going to see a fastball. Those days are long gone. Guys are throwing breaking balls in all kinds of counts. So when you get the odds in your favor that heavily, it's worth a swing.
Still a hitter's count, a 3-1. Hammered high in the air to left center field. See ya! Another monstrous blast off the bat of Dylan Cruz, his second home run of the day, and just like that, we're tied 2-2. Home run number 13 here in 2022.
That ball was absolutely mashed. Got way too much of the plate there, 3-1, and we know Cruz has seen it pretty well today, as evidenced by that swing in the first inning. And that one wasn't quite as far, but it was a long way out into the pine trees out there in left center field. A no-doubter off the bat of the Tiger All-American.
442 feet off the bat, 108 miles per hour.
900 feet of home run today for Dylan Cruz.
So back to a tie game, and we'll see Jacob Berry had a single in the first. A little bouncer to third, mishandled but not rolled an error on Buddy Floyd. He got aboard on the single, was a strikeout victim chasing on a breaking ball that did not break in. Sullivan will deliver a curve in for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Put a star by Drew Bianco's catch to end the top half of this inning. When you realize that that could have scored another run for the Dogs, and he ran that thing down into the track and barreled into the wall to get his team in the dugout, and then Cruz picks him up.
This one going to be hammered to left field. Berry with his second hit of the day. With nobody out, the Tigers have a runner on at first base.
Jacob Berry hammers that ball into left field for a single from the right side of the plate. Of course, homered from the right side of the plate yesterday. I, of course, on my radio show was questioning whether or not he should just hit full-time left-handed because he's hitting 150 points higher and had all of his home runs. And basically, Jacob Berry says, Hunt, you're a moron. Just let me swing the bat.
That's why he's at first and you're up here with me.
Exactly.
Cade Doty stands in. Cade, a couple of strikeouts. One swinging, one looking. The Tigers got a little momentum here in the bottom of the fifth inning. This one gets away from Gonzalez down in the dirt, and Berry again, a wise base runner. Saw it dropping down, immediately took off. He'll get into second. And the Tigers now with a runner in scoring position and nobody out.
Good jump there from Berry to get to second base. And now here, you got to go ahead run out there at second base, and they've got a shift on. Cade's got to try to hit the ball the opposite way. I know he's a big-time power hitter. Can certainly drive the ball into the seats, but the job here has got to be to try to find the ball to the right side. If you do, you're very likely going to have a single. At the very least, you're going to move the runner over to third base with just one out.
Gonzalez out to visit with Sullivan on the mound. Chandler Marsh, 6'4", 228-pound freshman, the right-hander, throwing down in the pen for the Georgia Bulldogs. Catcher is down. He began throwing at the start of this inning. So you have to believe he's just about ready to go. Again, now the meeting between Gonzalez and Sullivan going to be broken up by Jeff Head. Nobody out of the dugout for Georgia, so they'll stick with Sullivan here, who again, after giving up the solo home run to lead off the game for the Tigers in the bottom of the first, has pitched very well. 4 innings of work, 6 hits, 2 runs, both solo shots from Dylan Cruz, 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. But now giving up the base hit to Berry. The wild pitch gets him to second base. Now Doty, the 1-0 off speed on that outside corner. And that's been an effective pitch. You mentioned it earlier, Hunt. To start the game, he had success elevating the fastball, but since then, he's lived on the corners with the off-speed delivery.
Look, Sullivan's a talented guy, 6'6", 245-pound left-handed pitcher. Got a good fastball that can get into the mid-90s, and the breaking ball's been pretty good as well.
The 1-1 to Doty. Stays away and it misses low. Make it 2-1. That's one of the things Coach Johnson mentioned in the dugout before the game, was the reason he was very wary of Sullivan and had high praise for the Georgia left-hander was the fact that he could really hide the baseball. I think it's certainly affected the hitters through the first couple of times through the order.
Everyone except Cruz.
Yes. The 2-1. Doty goes opposite field. To right, Rogers coming over near the track, makes the play. Berry again will tag up and will make his way to third. So Doty advances the runner on a fly ball to right field, just the first out of the inning. He'll get a hand from the Tiger faithful.
As he should. That's a job well done there. The ball was out over the plate as it had been the entire at bat. He did not try to pull it and roll over it, just drove the ball the other way. And Yeah, it's a fly out to right field, but you move the go-ahead run over to third base and allow your teammates to pick you up.
Now it looks like Coach Strickland out, and he'll make a change. So Sullivan's day is over. Excellent effort from the left-hander, but now a tie game. Bulldogs going to turn it over to the bullpen as Chandler Marsh sprints his way out to the mound. We'll take a timeout as this pitching change powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer here in the great state of Louisiana. 2-2 our score. Another great game here in Game 3. Georgia and LSU back after this. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Two to two our score. Here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Tigers led 1-0. Georgia putting 2 runs on the board in the top half of this frame. LSU wasting little time. Dylan Cruz, second solo home run. He scored both runs for the Tigers today. Ties it up 2-2. Barry would follow with a single. Advances to second on a wild pitch. Kane Doty then would fly out deep to right field, allowing Barry to reach first, or rather third base. That's the first out of the inning. Georgia elects to go to the bullpen. And we'll see Chandler Marsh come in for Liam Sullivan. And real quickly, Hunt, we all love Bill Franquez. He's an absolute treasure to LSU baseball and here at Alex Stadium. But what a job. Calling Baton Rouge comes on during the pitching change, and he drops in the sponsorship read between verses as Garth sings and absolutely hit the post. And in our business, that is huge. Kudos to Bill Franquez.
Not Bill's first time, Mr. Blair.
I know.
Not his first.
But not a single ounce of rust at all.
Yeah. Chandler Marsh, the freshman right-hander for Georgia, who's taken over, has been one of their go-to guys all year. 2.91 ERA, struck out 29 in 21 and 2/3 innings this season out of the bullpen.
Georgia going to play up on the infield cut here with just 1 out. Thompson at the plate, Barry at third. Try not to concede a run if possible. This one a breaking ball from Marsh way outside, 1-0. Thompson today a base hit. Back in the first, flied out to center field in the third inning. Buddy Floyd, the third baseman, playing even with the third base bag. McAllister just off the cut, Acton off the cut, and Parks Harbor off the cut at first. Here's the swing and a foul tap by Thompson, evens it up 1-1.
There's that good heater for Marsh, 95 miles an hour from the freshman. He throws hard, and the numbers back that up. Thompson's really got to shorten that swing against the fastball that good. Just looking for something on the outfield grass. Don't have to crush it. Just have to get it out there to allow Barry to score.
The 1-1 up the middle. Going to be snagged, though, by Marsh at the mound, and he'll look the runner back throw to first. That one gets by. That's an easy RBI single. Marsh, again, standing at 6'4", able to drop down quickly, get the glove, and get to the baseball. Second out.
That's a good play by Marsh. I was curious to see in real time. I couldn't tell if he reacted to it or if it just found his glove. He certainly made that play and did a really nice job. That ball was ticketed for center field. Thompson, that's a pretty good at bat. That's a hard hit ball up the middle, what you were looking for, but Marsh did a great job to knock it down and not rush and make the play.
So 2 down. We'll see Trey Morgan. Morgan 2 flyouts to left, jumping on early offerings from Liam Sullivan. Now he'll face the right-hander in March. Barry with a leadoff third, and the first pitch comes flying in inside, spins Morgan away. It's 1-0. Morgan glances a little bit back at Marsh. Now we'll dig back in from the left side. The big right-hander fires off speed in the air. Foul territory, third base side. Floyd coming over and can't grab it. Maybe caught the screen on its way down, but
would have been a really tough play there for Floyd, who had to run all the way from his position at third base to the wall. Got that netting to protect the fans there from foul balls, and that ball was coming right down the netting line. Did hit his glove. Not sure if that was clean or if it came off the net. Looked like that was clean. That could have been caught for an out. Just wasn't able to make the play as he got near the net over there.
So Morgan stays alive with a 1-1 count. Tie game 2-2. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Marsh to the plate. Ground ball towards first. Backing up Harbor. He's got it with the glove. He'll run to first for out number 3. LSU ties it up. Dylan Cruz. Another swing over the fence, left center field. They get 1 run. They do it on 2 hits, and they leave 1 man on. We now move to the top of the 6th. Tie game in game 3. Dogs to the plate when we come back. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Really great baseball this weekend between Georgia and LSU. Tigers 6-2 win on Friday in game 1. 12-7 Georgia hammers their way with home run 6 in game 2 to get the win to even the series. Tied 2-2 here in game 3. Corey Acton leads it off for the Bulldogs in the top of the 6th inning. Again, Grant Taylor out there. Came in to find the final out in relief of Samuel Dutton in the top half of the 5th inning. First delivery to Acton missing for ball 1. The 1-0. Look out! That one smacked into the dugout of Georgia. I think it came off of one of the players who was standing on the top deck. May have got him in the back. He says he's all right. Oh, my.
That was a hot shot.
1 ball, 1 strike. Taylor's delivery. Low and inside. Make it 2-1.
And you grind through an entire weekend of SEC baseball and see who wins the series. And turns in. You're now in the back half of Game 3, and a couple of very talented freshmen have the ball in their hands here.
That was Corey Collins, who is waiting in the wings to bat here in the inning. He's expected to be third in the lineup here. 3-1 as that misses low and away. The trainer actually comes over down in the dugout and says, "You sure you're okay?" Collins says, "I'm fine."
I don't know what the word for it is. It's obviously not crushed. It was fouled off. It was just a glancing blow, but it was coming in there fast. Nobody had any time to move at all.
Taylor, the 3-1 pitch. Way upstairs, ball 4. Lost that one.
The last two pitches of that at bat were not competitive at all from Taylor. He looks a little frustrated as he backs up off the mound. Certainly do not want to walk the leadoff guy there in a tie ball game here in the 6th inning.
You can tell by the stirrups down in the bullpen. Devin Fontenot back up and throwing. Veteran right-hander for the Tigers. So the leadoff man aboard by way of base on balls. We'll see Connor Tate now stand in. Tate, a base hit in the first, grounded out to Thompson in the 4th inning. Time going to be called here. So Travinski at the very last moment, granted time by Jeff Head, the home plate umpire. He'll go out, talk with Taylor. And now everyone will keep an eye on that first base dugout of LSU. And Coach Jay Johnson, and he's on his way out. So we may see a change here with Fontenot again already warming, and now just back up moments ago. It appears he's ready to go.
We'll see. The command was just nowhere near on those last couple of pitches there from Taylor. Probably not a good indication of signs to come. Got a trusted veteran bullpen piece down there in Fontenot that looks to be ready to roll, and Jay's going to make the call.
So they will make the change, powered by Sunshine. Once again, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. Grant Taylor will get a hand, make his way to the dugout, and Devin Fontenot on his way out to the mound for the Tigers. It's a 2-2 ball game. Dogs have runners on at first, one runner on. Connor Tate at the plate. When we come back, this is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Devin Fontenot takes over for LSU out of the bullpen. Top of the 6th inning in a tie game, 2-2. Georgia with the leadoff man aboard by way of walk, granted by Grant Taylor. Down at first is Corey Acton. Connor Tate will be at the plate. Fontenot taking his final warm-up tosses here. Fans get low-rate long-term financing right now on powerful Kubota tractors, mowers, and utility vehicles. Visit LSUKubotaDealers.com for your nearest Kubota dealer. Test drive a Kubota today. Hunt Palmer, let's get the numbers on Devin Fontenot, the veteran right-hander.
Absolutely. His 16th appearance is 2-1 on the season with a 3.57 ERA. He's worked 17 2/3 innings, given up 19 hits and 12 runs, just 7 of those earned. He has walked 9 and struck out 21. Batting average against the senior right-hander, .271.
So Tate, the right-hander, ready to go. Fontenot looks in, now winds. Breaking ball, ground ball to third, scooped up by Berry. Throw to Doty, relay to first, in time for the twin killing. That'll erase the base pads. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning. Fontenot with some help from Berry, Doty, and Morgan gets 2 quick outs.
That was tailor-made, just a rollover ground ball to Berry, who scooped it nicely, made a throw on the money, and Doty fired it across. Trey had to scoop it out of the dirt there and did make the play. Fontenot was watching that one very intently, and when that one was caught over at first base, he gave it a big fist bump.
So now with the bases empty, we'll see Corey Collins, who again took a foul ball off the bat of Acton in the dugout, but shook it off like it was a fly on the shoulder. This one misses from Fontenot, 1-0.
Of course, Fontenot going to be 91-93 with the fastball. The slider is his out pitch, but he'll use it to get me over and get a strike 1 as well. Tried it there and just missed.
He'll wind, and the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 92 as he challenges Collins. 1 ball, 1 strike. By the way, how about Drew Bianco, who went flying into the wall to end that rally for Georgia in the top of the 5th inning, and is right back out there. Another tough guy. The 1-1. Foul tap comes off the equipment of Travinski. Collins falls behind in the count to Fontenot, 1-2.
Drew's done a little bit of everything here in Baton Rouge. He played some second, played some short, played out in the outfield at a couple different places. He's had his time as a starter, had his time as a bench player. Never complains, just shows up and plays really hard, and that was a heck of a play that may be huge when we look back on the decision in this game.
2 outs and a 1-2 count. Fontenot ready to deal. And again, Collins stays alive, just getting a piece of the baseball. Went right back to the breaking pitch. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tiger fans, StubHub, the easiest way to experience every Tiger game. You can check the virtual view, score your seats, get your tickets delivered instantly. StubHub, the official ticket marketplace of LSU Athletics. StubHub, be there. Setting up outside, Travinski. The 1-2, high fastball, swing and a miss. Fontenot comes in, lives up to the Fontenasty, elicits the 5-4-3 double play, and then with the punch out, that's it for Georgia. They strand the leadoff walk, actually erase the leadoff walk, and come up empty-handed. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Tied 2-2. LSU will have McManus, Travinski, Joe Bear. 6, 7, and 8 hitters due up. Stay with us. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. 2-2 our score. Bottom of the 6th inning. LSU comes to the plate. Series evened up 1 win apiece. Marsh delivers to McManus to lead it off, and it's a fastball for a strike. 0-1. Marsh, the second pitcher of the day for Coach Strickland and the Bulldogs. Liam Sullivan, good afternoon in the start. The 0-1. Another heater in for a strike at 93, and it's 0-2 to McManus, who at the plate. A couple of strikeouts today in the 1st and 4th inning to Liam Sullivan, who would finish today with 6 strikeouts recorded. The 0-2. Fastball high and away, 1-2. Pitch to McManus. Looking for the outside corner, but missing is Marsh. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Steady diet of fastballs.
Hovering around 94, 95 miles an hour. That's a talented freshman arm here Scott Strickland has out of the bullpen. He's used him a lot this year.
2-2. McManus swings, pops it up, foul territory, first base side. Harbor over, shading the sun, and able to find it for out number 1.
Harbor fought the sunshine and the high sky there for that one. He had his hand up there, was trying to shield it any way he could. It wasn't that high, so not too difficult to play, but he certainly made it, and that's the first out.
Hayden Travinski 1 for 2. Hayden with a double down the line in 3rd. Back in the 4th inning, strikeout victim to Sullivan in the 2nd. Now facing Marsh, the big right-hander. And the fastball is outside, 1-0. Shift is on, left of the diamond. Travinski swings, lifts one high and deep to center field. On the track, waiting for it. Anderson just shy of the wall has it for a long fly ball, out number 2.
That's about as far as you can hit it in this ballpark without a home run. See the center fielder Anderson creeping back towards the track, towards the wall, and he had his back up against that 405 sign and made the play about 2 steps shy of the wall in left center field, about 402 feet away from home plate.
So 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. We'll see Braden Jobert. Jobert, a couple of walks has put him aboard. Last time was intentionally walked in the 4th inning. He'll face Marsh, righty on lefty. There's a breaking ball for a strike. 0-1. Georgia will be back home for the midweek. They'll take on Kennesaw State. LSU will be back here at the box taking on Nichols Tuesday. The 0-1 off the end of the bat, foul towards the 3rd base dugout. And it's 0-2 now to Jobert.
Got a couple of finals in Southeastern Conference play. Kentucky avoids a sweep in Gainesville. They beat Florida 8-1. And Tennessee gets a homer in the 8th to break a 3-3 tie. They beat Auburn and win that series 5-3 up there in Knoxville. Scoreboard update presented for the people by Caesars Sportsbook.
2 outs. Marsh, the 0-2. Look out. Bends back Jobert with one high and tight. 1-2 the count.
Vols could be a historic team this year. Long way to go. You're talking about a team right now that is on a very, very much historic pace.
The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball gets loose, misses high. 2-2.
Going 19-2 against SEC competition is just remarkable. Of course, back in 2013, Vanderbilt went 26-3 in conference play, lost a game, meaning didn't play a game, only played 29 conference games. But that's the gold standard to this point.
The 2 outs, the 2-2. Jobert slaps it, line drive, but waiting for it is the shortstop McAllister in the shift. He'll have it for out number 3. So the Tigers done in the bottom of the 6th. We head now to the 7th inning, tied 2-2. Georgia coming up after this. Fighting Tiger baseball.
Pitcher's duel here after there was balls flying all over the yard yesterday, flying out of the yard yesterday. You turn it over to two guys with pretty modest SEC statistics and figured it'd be another offensive day. Has not been the case.
2-0 from Fontenot. There's a strike at the belt. 2-1. Comes back to Old Faithful, the fastball. Harbor now batting an even 300, 407 when leading off this year. Foul this one straight back into the plate. And it evens the count 2-2. Let's pause 10 seconds. Station identification. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball on the LSU Sports Radio Network. Fontenot to deliver the 2-2, and it misses upstairs. Fills the count now to Parks Harbor. Back inside the Caesar Sportsbook broadcast booth. Hanging out with Hunt Palmer, I'm Chris Blair, live from Villarreal on the 1s and 2s back in the Capital One studio. Happy to have you with us along the radio and watching on SEC Network Plus. Great college baseball game. Here's the payoff delivery from Fontenot. Got him to chase it upstairs. The fastball elevated, and Harbor will take the long stroll around and behind home plate. As he's down on strikes, Fontenot records his second punch out. Another one brought to you by Super One Foods. Great quality at super low prices. And Fontenot again able to start him off with the breaking ball. Got behind 2-0. Then went back to the fastball and eventually got him to chase it upstairs.
Yeah, the elevated fastball, perfectly executed pitch there from Devin, and big first out.
Janie Rogers, left-hander, awaits off speed, strike on the outside corner just above the knees, and it's 0-1.
Devin's used that pitch a ton this year, the get me over breaking ball to start at bats. Kind of pitching backwards as you were just talking about, but he can use that thing as a swing and miss strike 3 pitch as well.
The 0-1 sent back foul into the screen. Now Fontenot in the driver's seat, 0-2.
Bit of an odd defensive alignment here now with 2 strikes as they'll back Jacob Berry up at third base all the way to the outfield grass and move him towards the shortstop. Of course, no fear of a bunt now with the 0-2 count.
Entire infield playing deep on the grass, and swing and a foul tip. Travinsky just couldn't hold on. Upset with himself, but keeps Rogers at the plate, still 0-2.
Yeah, Travinsky kind of got on himself there for not squeezing that one. It was a good pitch, got what they wanted, and Tip just couldn't hold on to it. So Cheney Rogers lives to fight another day.
One down, top of the 7th. Fontenot. The 0-2 in the air to left field. Bianco trailing back. On the track, he's got it. Out number 2.
Nice play there by Drew. Going backwards, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, he's played everywhere on the diamond for this LSU program over the last 4 years, and they're asking him today to play left field, want to get him into the lineup because he's a right-handed bat against a tough left-handed starter. And he's made some pretty difficult plays out there in left field, and that's a position he hasn't played a ton. So nice work back there by Drew Bianco.
Another great job again. Coach Wanaka handles the positioning. And while the infield was a little unorthodox, they also had Bianco shaded towards left center. Again, didn't have to run to his left, just had to backpedal, make that play. Now at the plate is McAllister. He'll swing and foul it into the screen above the first base dugout. Start off 0-1. McAllister had that sac fly RBI to score Harbor in the 5th inning. When Georgia finally got on the board to take a 2-1 lead, but then Dylan Cruz didn't let it last long. Tied the game in the bottom half of the 5th. This one missing high from Fontenot, 1-1. In case you're wondering at home, Dylan Cruz will be due up in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Bianco will lead it off.
That's been LSU's offense today. Tigers have only mustered 6 hits. 2 of them have gone about 900 feet off the bat of Dylan Cruz.
1-1 from Fontenot. Fastball outside, 2-1. Again with the right-handed hitter McAllister at the plate. They'll have Berry even with the third base bag, now closer to the line at third. Thompson deep in the hole at shortstop. Kate Doty shaded towards second. And Morgan playing straight up at first. The 2-1 breaking ball, ripped but foul towards the seats down the line and left. The Rotolo's foul ball. Make it 2-2.
And Devin hung that one a little bit. McAllister just a little bit quick with that barrel. He hit it hard, but obviously too early.
Crowd going to try to lift up Devin Fontenot here. Make a little noise. Josh McAllister at the plate. Here's the 2-2. He got him to chase again. Upstairs fastball. Down on strikes goes McAllister. Fontenot records his third punch out. And it's 3 up, 3 down for the University of Georgia. Time to stretch it out here at Alex Box Stadium. It's a tie game, 2-2. Bianco, bottom of the order. Then Dylan Cruz, followed by Jacob Berry. We'll be back after this. Fighting Tiger Baseball.
Floyd, I mean, he's got to go 85, 90, 100 feet to run there from the shift. Slides into the tarp over there. Just ran out of real estate.
The 0-1. Slap ground ball. Backhanded, nicely done by Harbor. He will toss to Marsh, covering at first. For the ground out, 1 away. Pearson comes in, makes a little contact, but another nice play defensively by Georgia. This time Harbor has shown the ability to play both corners, third and first this weekend for Coach Strickland.
He has a nice play to backhand it. Fed the covering pitcher there, Marsh. Time for another cruise missile.
Dylan Cruz today 2 for 2, 2 solo home runs. Pitch from Marsh, misses outside. First time he's facing the right-hander Marsh. Able to figure out Liam Sullivan pretty well, I would say.
I think that's fair.
Here's the 1-0. Off speed, strike on the outside corner, drops in. It's 1-1.
For those just joining us, in the first inning, Cruz hit a ball that literally hit off the lettering above the scoreboard in left field. And he homered again in the fifth out into the trees beyond the bleachers in left center field.
The 1-1. Drops in low and outside. That'll make it 2-1 to Cruz. Average now up to .331, 13 home runs, 4 triples, 6 doubles, 45 runs batted in. Two-one. Ooh, he wanted it. Breaking ball and just maybe got a piece. It's 2-2.
After you've bashed 2 home runs to the degree Cruz has, I don't think you're going to shorten up and try to poke one through the right side. I think this is a full green light day.
One out and a 2-2 count. Marsh brings the pitch. Another breaking ball, and it's across the plate for a called strike 3. Nicely done by Marsh. Cruz not looking for it. Left the bat on the shoulder. He's upset with himself, but a great delivery by Chandler Marsh to record out number 2. That'll be his first punch out in relief for the Dogs.
Yeah, Dylan just wasn't looking for that one. Marsh, good pitch selection. I don't think he hit his spot there, but it was effective enough to lock Cruz up on the inner half. Catcher was set up away. Either way, it's strike 3, and he'll take it.
So Barry, a couple of base hits and a strikeout today. 2 for 3 at the plate with 2 outs. Pitch it on the hands, misses ball 1. They'll play the shift against Barry. Batting now again from the left side. This one going to be short of the plate. Breaking ball down in the dirt. 2-0 now, the count to Barry.
Your Marsh, you got to be careful here. You got one of the most dangerous hitters in the conference late in a tied game, and now he's in an advantage count. You're working to Barry here. The ball's got to be away. For Barry, you're looking for anything out over the plate you can pull into the seats in right field.
The 2-0. Look out again inside. This one gets away from Gonzalez all the way to the backstop. It's now 3-0 to Barry.
This is a green light all day if you're Jay Johnson to Jacob Barry. I think George is probably aware of that. Can't just lay a cookie in there.
Marsh will square to the plate. Look in. Now start the wind. 3-0. Called strike on the inside corner. Barry had tossed the bat, thought it was ball 4. Again, it was in on the hands, but Jeff Head said a strike on the inside corner. It's 3-1.
Looking to see if Barry's going to apologize or say anything to Jeff Head, the umpire. Take a look at this pitch. I think it's probably a strike. Certainly not where he wanted it. The catcher had to reach across his body. Barry had already tossed the bat.
Here's the 3-1. That one is inside, and Barry again will toss the bat. This time he will trot to first base. So, with 2 outs, the base on balls given up by Marsh. His first walk offered up. And we'll get to Cade Doty now with 2 outs. Again, a tie game, 2-2. Here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Doty 0 for 3, due for something this weekend. 2 for 10 at the plate. He also will have to beat the shift, the right-handed hitter. Georgia has 3 infielders left side of the diamond. First pitch. Low, gets away from Gonzalez. Again, Barry. Heads up play. As good as anybody on this team. He knows when to go and easily gets down to second. Second time he's done it this afternoon.
Gonzalez tried to pick that with his backhand instead of dropping down on those knees and blocking it up. Paid for it there.
So the Tigers now with a potential go-ahead run in scoring position. 2 outs. Now double barrel action begins again for Georgia down in the pen. A righty and a lefty. New baseball asked for. Jeff Head obliges.
They're going to put Doty aboard.
So they'll intentionally walk Doty, send him to first. Runners now first and second. Will Pearson, the right-hander, warming. Pearson we saw late in the game on Friday, pitched a third of an inning. Jordan Thompson now will come to the plate. Again with 2 outs, but the Tigers with a minor threat here in a tie game.
They'll shift Thompson. It'll be 3 infielders to the left of second base. And if I'm Jordan Thompson, I'm looking for anything away that I can poke through the right side, give the Tigers the lead. There's a ton of room over there. I think Marsh will likely pitch him out there. You just got to drive the baseball towards right field.
Looks like Davis Rocos, the left-hander, loosening down for the Dogs. Runners take their lead first and second. Marsh looks back to second, now to the plate. Pitch misses outside. Fastball. 1-0.
I think they're going to stay out there, and they're just giving you the right side of the field. You've got to be disciplined enough to drive the ball to the right side instead of roll it over.
Got Rogers playing relatively deep in right field. Same for Anderson in center. Marsh, the 1-0. Off speed, but it misses off the outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Away, away, away. That's where Marsh is working him. Should also be noted that in this shift, the double play turning situation gets a little dicey with the second baseman playing on the other side of second base. Could create some uncomfortable throws.
2 balls, no strikes to Thompson. Barry with a lead off second. Doty with a lead off first. The 2-0 swung on and fouled out of play right side. That'll make it 2-1. Thompson with a base hit in the first, flied out to center in the third, and grounded right back to the pitcher on a great play by Marsh when the Tigers were threatening in the 5th inning. Now looks like we've got a visit out to the mound by Sean Kinney, the pitching coach. He's going to talk it over with Marsh along with Gonzalez out here.
LSU bullpen is quiet. Paul Gervais is down there, but not doing anything strenuous. This is Devin Fontenot's game for the time being.
Rocos along with Pearson. Still throwing for the Dogs down in the bullpen. Coach Kinney now on his way back to the dugout. LSU today, 2 runs, 6 hits. Those 2 runs, 2 solo shots by Dylan Cruz. The Bulldogs 2 runs on 4 hits. Runs at a premium today, not so much yesterday. 12-7, Georgia with the win. 12 runs on 17 hits. LSU 7 runs on 10 hits in game 2. Two and 1 the count. Thompson ready. The pitch. Low and away. 3-1.
I think at this point you might take one if you're Jordan Thompson. Make him come in there with 2 straight strikes and a 3-ball count. There's nowhere to put him. Runners on first and second. If you trust your hitter to hit with 2 strikes, you might want to put the take sign on, put pressure on the freshman pitcher on the road.
Marsh with some time. Now will come set. Here's the 3-1. Breaking ball for a strike on the outside corner, knee high. That'll make it 3-2. Again, Thompson take appeared to be on there.
We went with the breaking ball there, which would be really surprising to me as a hitter. 3-1 with the tying run at second base, another runner on first. So now really the entire pitch repertoire is out there because he's just shown you that he can throw that breaking ball when he wants to for a strike.
2 outs, a full count. Runners will begin off and running with this pitch. Marsh, the 3-2. Popped up. Should find the overhang over above the third base dugout. It does. Keeps the count 3-2. Fans, TJ Ribs, the official barbecue restaurant of LSU Athletics, proudly serving the greater Baton Rouge area. Their famous barbecue since 1986. TJ Ribs, the reason for ribs. Invite you to join us at TJ Rib South Acadian tomorrow night. Jay Johnson Show. 2 more remain here in 2022. We'll get started at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Recap this series. Look ahead to the week coming up. Nichols at home on Tuesday, then on the road to take on Alabama next weekend. They'll re-rack it. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th, a tie game, 2-2, and there's 2 men on for the Tigers. Marsh, the pitch. Breaking ball high and inside, ball 4. That'll load the bases. And that will bring Trey Morgan to the plate for LSU.
Yeah, Marsh doubled back up. He threw the breaking ball 3-1, got it for a strike, decided to go back to it 3-2. Just didn't get on top of that baseball, didn't break, stayed high. And good job by Jordan Thompson to take it, walk on down to first base.
And that'll bring Coach Strickland out, and he has made the call to the bullpen. So the third pitcher of the day will come in. Appears to be the left-hander, Davis Rokus. Transfer in from Mississippi State. Redshirt sophomore, 5'11", 221 pounds. So they'll go back to the lefty here. 2-2 our score. LSU with the bases loaded. Trey Morgan at the plate when we come back. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Trey Morgan comes to the plate for LSU in the bottom of the 7th inning in a tie game with Georgia, 2-2. And now Morgan this weekend on 3 for 11 against the Georgia Bulldogs. But he's a guy that you feel very confident in coming to the plate when you take a look at his numbers over the totality of the season. Batting .306 with 2 outs in the inning, .333 when the bases are loaded, .340 when runners are in scoring position. And of course his overall average at .314. So Roko's coming in to pitch, the left-hander. It'll be a lefty-on-lefty matchup. The bases loaded in LSU with Barry at third. Jody intentionally walked at second. Thompson earns the base on balls. He's at first.
Trey feasted on left-handed pitching as a freshman last year, had astronomical numbers, has struggled this year facing left-handed pitching. They'll go to Rokos, the lefty, and they'll shift him in the outfield to significantly go the other way. The center fielder's all the way over in the left center field gap.
Couple of fly balls to left by Morgan. Had a ground ball to first, last at bat unassisted, handled by Harbor. First pitch, breaking ball away. It's 1-0.
This is Rokos' 12th appearance. He's worked 14 innings, given up 14 hits and 14 runs, 13 earned. Walked 13, struck out 11.
The pitch, 1-0, swing and a miss. Fastball off the outer portion of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike.
90-mile-an-hour heater from the southpaw from Georgia.
One ball, one strike, two down. Rocos, the left-hander, fires, and it's sent back into the screen. Morgan falls behind in the count. One ball, two strikes.
Trey was tardy on that one. That fastball snuck up on him, and he did not get the barrel to it. We know Trey's a great opposite field hitter and does let the ball travel, let it get deep, but he didn't get it started quick enough that time.
Rocos looks in. From the belt, the 1-2. Hit foul out of play left side off the bat of Morgan. Another fastball at 90. Morgan draws contact. Still 1-2.
Of course, Trey's biggest swing of the season thus far would be the single in Starkville. 2 outs and 2 strikes to give LSU the lead in that game that they would eventually win. This would rank right up there if he could find some grass here.
Middle of the outfield wide open. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Rocos comes in and shuts down the threat for LSU in the bottom of the 7th inning. The strikeout strands 3 runners. No runs, no hits. 3 men left on. We head to the top of the 8th. Still tied 2-2. This is Fighting Tiger baseball.
Eight, 9-1 in the Georgia order. I feel like this is a huge at bat here to keep the leadoff runner off for Devin Fontenot.
The 1-1. Swatted and fouled in the air. Right side. Morgan going to give it a look, but it will find its way into the seats, out of play. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Riley Cooper up and throwing for the Tigers down in the pen, along with tall Paul Gervais, the right-hander. Fontenot has been very solid in his relief effort. Here's the 1-2. High bounce, ground ball to first. Morgan will glove it. Toss to Fontenot covering. And there's one gone here in the top of the 8th inning.
That's a big out. Georgia gets that huge strikeout to strand the bases loaded, get a little shot of life into the dugout, and if your 8-hole hitter, 9-hole hitter can create something when the lineup turns over, you can push something across and take control of this game. Fontenot keeps the leadoff man off base there. Now you deal with the 9-hole.
Buddy Floyd, a strikeout victim in the 3rd. Did get aboard on a fielder's choice back in the 5th inning. Again, when Thompson wisely threw home to get Gonzalez, who, again, not sure after having the triple why he was coming home, but the Tigers happy to take it. They were able to get the runner out at home. First pitch to Floyd. Strike at the letters. And Stravinsky had to rise to take it.
That was an odd strike signal. I noticed that. That was odd.
Buddy Floyd turned to Jeff Head and said, "Wait a minute, that was a strike?" The 0-1, swing and a miss. Fontenot comes after him with a fastball, and he jumps ahead 0-2. See if Fontenot tries to get him to chase a hard breaking ball. Or just comes back with the heater. The 0-2, fouled back into the screen. Fontenot was trying to get him to go after and miss a high fastball. Still 0-2.
Both pitches have been working for Devin thus far. Fastball's gotten him some swings and misses, which is always good. The breaking ball he's used more so as a get me over pitch in this outing.
Here's the 0-2 from Fontenot. Look out, inside, got him on the arm. Fontenot shaking his head, did not believe he hit the batter. That's going to bring Jay Johnson out. And he wants to talk to Jeff Head. Jeff Head's going to get some new baseballs, and then they will finally meet. And it looks like he is going to challenge that call, so they'll bring the umpiring crew in front of the mound here. Now, give Floyd credit, he sold it quickly. He looked for confirmation from Jeff Head that he was hit by the pitch. And initially the ruling is he was touched by the baseball. Now we'll go to an official review. First of the day, an Acme Oyster House official review here at the ballpark. Jay Johnson beforehand still going to have a conversation with Jeff Head, trying to kind of paint the picture before he puts the headset on.
Going to put my perfect record on the line here, Chris.
This is a tough one.
This is a very tough one. Now look, it's easier to tell if a pitch did hit a batter than proving that it didn't.
Ooh.
It's really close. Generally speaking, they're going to go off sound there. If you can hear it clip the jersey as it flies by and hits the mitt. It was close, and Floyd definitely sold it. And honestly, if I was hitting 167, I'd probably sell it as well.
The center field cam in real time was the first replay we just witnessed. Again, I don't know that there's anything there that could overturn it. And
I'm
it
going
looks
to say
like
that they're going to say it did hit him.
Yeah, that's a quick one. He's going to stay at first. So the ruling behind the plate stands. Floyd gets aboard with one out.
That's a backbreaker there if you're Devin Fontenot. You got a guy at the bottom of the order who's really struggled offensively all year, and you just give him a free base. Now you turn it over to the top of this Georgia lineup that's very potent.
You were able to dance around that pretty good and keep your record intact.
I went on the line. I said, oh, they're going to say it hit him. Take that, Doug.
So a runner aboard for Georgia with one out. To the top of the order we go. Quick throw over by Fontenot. Close play at first as Floyd a little slow getting back, though ruling back safe. Anderson atop the order today, 0 for 3. He's got 2 hits on the weekend. Fontenot again will turn and throw. This one going to get away from Morgan. It was down in the dirt. Floyd on his way to second. He's going to make the turn. Morgan just now, or Doty picks it up. And this throw is going to be wisely cut off by Thompson. That one was off the mark. Would not have gotten to Barry at third base. So now what has been a huge mistake on the hit batter, has snowballed into a runner at third, a potential go-ahead run with just one out.
That's just a self-inflicted wound. Georgia did nothing there. They stood in there and got hit with a pitch, and then you threw a ball down to the wall and they get to third. It's just totally self-inflicted if you're LSU. College pickoff plays do far more harm than good. Very rarely pick anybody, and oftentimes teams make errors on pickoffs at the college level. That was a big one there.
No surprise, infield in now with a runner at third in a tie game and just one out. Pitch to Anderson. Came away from Travinsky and time called by Jeff Head. And it went all the way to the backstop.
Was that a ball or a strike? I thought it was a check swing foul ball. There we go. It's a strike. It was a check swing foul ball.
So 0-1. Now time going to be called. So Travinsky asked to get up by Coach Jay Johnson. He'll go out and visit with Fontenot. Again, both Gervais and Cooper ready to go out in the bullpen for LSU.
Fontenot's pitched in a lot of big moments in his time here at LSU. Of course, the Florida State Super Regional being probably the highest profile when he went 6 innings, where at any point if Florida State scored, they were going to Omaha. Eventually in the 6th inning, they did get to him there. But this is a senior who's seen it all here in Baton Rouge and staring down a tough spot here.
So Travinsky back behind the plate. Berry, Thompson, Doty, and Morgan all just a step off the infield cut with a runner at third, one out. Game all knotted up at 2 runs apiece. The 0-1 lifted in the air, foul territory. Coming near the bullpen is Pearson. Pearson's got it, but as he tried to plant and throw, he slips. And tagging up and coming in to score is Floyd, and Georgia takes a 3-2 lead.
This is a really difficult thing to put on a young player, really any player, but that's one you might not catch. I know he fell down, so he couldn't even get a throw off, and he couldn't have foreseen that. But he was not going to throw Floyd out from where he caught that ball anyway, I don't believe. And that's one I think you probably got to let drop. That's a tough thing to ask. I realize that. And I wouldn't call that a foolish play or a mental error. That's a kid playing hard and going out there and trying to do the best he can. But you're probably giving up a run when you catch that ball, and it was certainly in foul territory.
So it's now a 3-2 game with 2 outs, nobody on. Anderson takes the pitch inside, or rather Acton takes the pitch inside for ball 1-0. So Georgia hit by a pitch, throwing error to first on a pickoff attempt, puts him at third. There's a strike to Acton, even it up 1-1. Then a foul ball out on the mound in the left field bullpen. Records out number 2, but it gives up the run. The 1-1. Swing and a miss by Acton. Fontenot ahead now 1-2. LSU has McManus, Travinsky, and Joe Bear. 6, 7, and 8 due up in the bottom half of this 8th inning. Now trailing 3-2. The 1-2 from Fontenot. Skips in front of the plate. Breaking ball evens the count 2-2. Tigers playing from behind for the 2nd time today. Looking for the 3rd out of this inning. The 2-2 hit down the line, foul in right field. Count holds 2 balls, 2 strikes. H&E Equipment Services, the official construction equipment partner of LSU Athletics, reminds you for all of your rental needs, call 877-700-RENT or visit herentals.com today. Acton, second baseman for the Bulldogs, 0 for 2 today. Did reach on a walk in the 6th inning. Got a 2-2 count here with 2 outs. Fontenot's pitch, high and inside, will fill the count 3-2. Fontenot looks in. Payoff delivery. Hit back foul. Staying alive is Acton.
Fontenot sticking with that fastball. It's been his bread and butter today. Of course, the one that got away from him and hit the batter was the low point.
Fontenot will look in. Another 3-2 pitch. He went around, inside, down low, and swing and a miss. Acton down on strikes, and that'll end it for Georgia. However, a gift from the Tigers puts 1 run on the board for the Bulldogs. They take a 3-2 lead as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Tigers coming up next. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Georgia leading 3-2, bottom of the 8th inning. LSU trailing for the second time today. Tyler McManus, the DH here in Game 3 for the Fighting Tigers, will lead it off. Davis Rocco's able to come in, get that final out. The bases loaded. The Tigers threaten in the bottom of the 7th inning. First delivery off speed, breaking ball, called strike, 0-1 to McManus. Couple of strikeouts today, popped out foul territory. To Harbor, the first baseman, his last at bat in the 6th. The 0-1. Fastball misses a tad high, 1-1.
Interesting that Scott Strickland would stick with his left-hander here. Of course, did the job against Trey Morgan, but you got a couple of pretty potent right-handed bats lurking to start this inning.
The 1-1. Off speed, over for a strike, 1-2. Pearson, the right-hander, still ready to go. He was tossing earlier along with Rocco's. Strickland electing to go with the left-hander to replace Marsh. The 1-2. Just missed the outside corner, even with a great effort by Gonzalez to frame it. 2-2.
Wind gently blowing out to left field, as it has been most of the day.
2-2 delivery. Late swing, and above the first base dugout, catches the screen, foul.
It's good hands by McManus there. He was fooled by the pitch, knew it, but it was going to be a strike. Had to get those hands going quickly, and he was able to fight it off.
Rocco's looks in, gets the sign from Gonzalez. Ready to rock. Here's the 2-2. Ground ball to third. Floyd takes it on the hop. Throws to first a little high, but Harbor goes up, pulls it down, gets back on the bag for out number 1.
A nice play by Floyd there. Just a hard hit ground ball right at him. Backed up and made the play. A couple extra crow hops there and then nearly sailed it, but got the job done.
So Hayden Travinski had a double back in the 4th inning, a strikeout and a flyout. Again, Hayden had a streak early in conference play where he was really seeing the baseball well. 5 homers on the year. This pitch misses outside from Rocos, and it's 1-0. Again, the right-hander will have to beat the shift against the Dogs' defense, and jams him, pops it up. Between second and third base, Floyd calling for it. Floyd going back and just about dropped it, but holds on. As he surprised, I think, both Acton and McAllister coming over from third base, called everybody off, but the third baseman makes his second play of the inning and 2 gone.
That was a big league pop-up by Travinski. The second baseman is standing right there, kind of camped out, and Floyd just keeps drifting toward him, and Acton's looking at him going, you sure? You sure? And Floyd, that looked like it was going to drop there at the last second, but great concentration by Floyd to make the play. He's kind of last in the pecking order there to call it off. You would think McAllister would wave everybody off and make the play, but just as effective. I don't know if either one of the plays to make the first 2 outs were beautiful, but they were certainly effective.
Joe Bear at the plate with 2 down. First pitch of strike. Joe Bear kind of a half swing, and it's 0-1. Immediately after Floyd found it in his mitt, Acton looked at him and pointed at himself and said, that one was mine. But good job. The 0-1. Beautiful breaking pitch. Rocos comes in on the left-handed hitter, breaks across the plate just under the letters, and it's 0-2.
Paul Gervais warming down there with a little bit of urgency. Would think we may see him in the Bulldog night.
Two outs, the 0-2. Way outside from Rocos. Joe Bear not chasing. 1-2.
Rocos' stuff is better than his numbers would indicate. He's got a pretty lively fastball. We saw the really good breaking ball to get Morgan. He's been hit around a little bit this year.
Here's the 1-2. Again, that breaking ball just off the plate. Joe Bear had an idea, but wisely again keeps the bat back, and it's 2-2.
It's a great pitch and a great take there. It's a breaking ball that, as you mentioned, just tailed off the outside corner, and Joe Bear was able to lay off it.
2 outs and a 2-2 pitch. Way outside. Gonzalez takes it on the short hop, sliding to his left, and that will fill the count. Joe Bear with 12 home runs on the year, 8 doubles. Again, looking for his first hit today. The payoff pitch is high, and he'll earn his third base on balls. So with 2 outs, Rocos puts a runner aboard.
Another 3-2 breaking ball from this Bulldog staff. They are certainly not afraid to throw that pitch in any count. There they weren't going to lay one in there to Joe Bear. He's got double-digit home runs on the year.
So that'll bring Josh Pearson, who came in to pinch hit for Bianco, and then entered the game in left field. He'll step in, the left-handed hitter. Smack the ball down the line, his first at bat in that pinch hit, as we'll now get a pinch runner as well for Joe Bear.
Cramper. I was looking at Buddy Floyd, the third baseman, because they're going to exaggerate and shift Pearson, and he was playing back towards that shortstop spot, and I was going to say, you got to lay a bunt down here with Cruz in the on-deck circle and get on anyway, but Floyd has moved up. He's playing close to a traditional third base there, so they've taken away the opportunity for an easy bunt single.
So Cranford, the pinch runner, takes his lead out first. Rocos to the plate. Looking for the outside corner, but missing. 1-0.
Of course, Pearson angled his way into the starting lineup just a couple of weeks ago, and I think he's got the makings of a really, really good player in his career here at LSU.
This one, fastball misses off the outer half. 2-0.
course, Scott Strickland is well aware of who's in the on-deck circle right now. This is the guy that Georgia's got to go get.
Still a lot of room with one infielder left of the diamond here for the left-handed hitting Pearson. The 2-0. Again, farther off the plate. Make it 3-0.
If you're Josh Pearson, you may as well just put the bat on the ground. There is no swinging for this pitch and maybe the next one.
Rocos takes a little time, now steps back up on the bump. 2 outs, bottom of the 8th, Georgia leading 3-2. The 3-0. Called strike on the outside corner. Looked like 2 previous had missed in that location, but Jeff Head loves the drama, so that'll make it 3-1.
That one was real close. Pearson didn't like the call. We'll see if the take sign's on here again.
Three-one pitch. Low and again off the outside corner. Ball 4. So with runners first and second, 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th, LSU trailing 3-2. Dylan Cruz will come to the plate. Against the starter, he had 2 solo home runs. Strikeout victim to Marsh in his last at bat. Also had a fly out to right. But Coach Strickland, as you mentioned, Hunt, well aware who's coming to the plate, and he'll make a change. Go with the right-hander here with 2 outs. Pearson on his way in. 3-2, Georgia leads. LSU runners first and second. Pitching change powered by Sunshine, your hometown John Deere dealer in Louisiana. I would tell you not to go anywhere, but I'm sure you're not. We'll be back after this. Fighting Tiger Baseball. Two outs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Georgia leading 3-2. Fighting Tigers of LSU have runners first and second.
Will Pearson, the new hurler for Georgia, sophomore right-hander, leads the team in appearances. This is his 20th of the season. 22 2/3 innings. He has allowed 31 hits and 14 runs, 13 of them earned. He has walked 5, struck out 18. Batting average against .337. He's going to come at you from a 3/4 arm slide, a lot of sinkers and a slider. Not a huge velo guy, but a guy that wants to get ground balls.
He will face Dylan Cruz, who today is 2 for 4. A couple of solo home runs. One in the first, one in the 5th. So far, the only runs today for LSU. Pearson, the pitch. Missing high, ball 1. Georgia immediately has 2 more arms going. Down in the bullpen, another lefty and another right-hander. LSU, by the way, as we told you earlier, Paul Gervais looks ready to go. Expect to see him in the top of the 9th. Pearson, the 1-0. Way outside, 2-0. Young right-hander looking to find his release point here. Again, still trying to stay away as best as possible to Dylan Cruz. And with Barry waiting on deck should Cruz reach base. Cruz looking for the right-hander to make a mistake. The 2-0. High and inside, make it 3-0.
I'm letting him loose again if I'm Jay Johnson here. I know Jacob Berry's on deck and he's awesome. But Cruz is seeing the ball great today, obviously. He knows got to come to him here with a 3-0 count. I'm trusting the best hitter on my team to make it count. But we'll see what the decision is.
Gonzalez calls for time, will slowly walk out to the mound. Put his arm around Pearson. Try to boost his confidence. Also go over the plan here with a 3-0 count, 2 outs. Runners first and second. With his Bulldogs leading LSU 3-2 in deciding Game 3. Where else would you rather be than right here at the box watching this battle?
This is the spot. And we talked before the game even started about how big this game was for these two teams because they've got postseason hosting aspirations, and in Georgia's case, potentially a top 8 national seed. Coming to the box and getting 2 out of 3 would be huge for that. And LSU, of course, trying to wiggle its way into the hosting conversation, and this would go a long way to do it if they could find a way to take the lead and finish this thing off.
3-0 the count to Cruz with runners first and second. Pearson to the plate. Swung on to center field. Anderson on the run, diving, and makes the grab for out number 3. That one on its way down to the green grass in center field, but Ben Anderson using the wheels gets to it, holds on, and the Tigers' threat goes awry. In the bottom of the 8th inning, they leave 2 men on, and they trail 3-2 to Georgia. Top of the 9th we go. This is Fighting Tiger baseball. Top of the 9th inning, Georgia to the plate. They lead 3-2. As expected, Paul Gervais will take over on the mound for LSU. We'll start off facing Connor Tate. senior left fielder, a right-hander, who today is 1 for 3 with a base hit back in the first inning. Gervais first pitch across the plate. Off speed, and it's 0-1.
Just a sensational play by Ben Anderson to finish off the 8th there. Dylan Cruz got the green light, 3-0 like we talked about, and hit a laser to center field. And it took every bit of reaction time, speed, and hand-eye to make the catch by Anderson to erase that threat.
The 0-1, off speed, and he went around. Tried to hold back was Tate. Pretty good pitch there, just off the outside corner after the break, and it's 0-2.
As we talked about off the air, LSU managed to hit a batter, throw a ball away, and then catch a foul pop-up to give Georgia a run, and created their own positive situation. Hit a ball as hard as you can hit it, and are rewarded with nothing. What a game.
Gervais, the 0-2. Swung on and fouled back behind the plate. The immortal words of the brothers Gibb. Connor Tate staying alive.
Nice to see Gervais go with the breaking ball there. He's 95, 97% fastballs most of the time, but mixed a little breaking ball in there just to keep him honest.
Cooper and Raiselman throwing down on the pin for LSU. Again, trailing by a run, 3-2. Tigers have out-hit the Dogs 6-4 today. And again, the go-ahead run. Self-inflicted damage by LSU there in the top half of the 8th inning. Gervais still ahead, 0-2. Pitch to Tate. Outside. Fastball makes it 1-2. Gervais, we saw an inning and a third in Friday night's game 1. The 1-2 pitch. Misses low. Evens it up 2-2. Gervais, impressive. No hits, no runs, and 2 strikeouts to finish that contest. 6-2, LSU beating Georgia in game 1. Now a 2-2 count. Pitch up coming to Tate. Breaking ball and a grounder foul, third base side. Still 2-2.
Mentioned Raiselman and Cooper both up in the bullpen. We saw both of those guys in each of the first 2 games. Raiselman worked a third of an inning, walked a man back on Friday, and then last night pitched an inning in the third, gave up 2 runs on 2 hits, of course gave up the 2 home runs, did have 4 strikeouts through 26 pitches. Their magic number there is 30, sits you down for the next day, so he is eligible to work today.
2-2 pitch from Gervais, and again Connor Tate keeps the at-bat going, fouls it off right side.
Tate doing a good job of staying alive here, as you mentioned. Gervais trying to find that put-away pitch. It's been the fastball for him all year long. He's mixed a couple breaking balls in and tried to sneak the fastball by him, but Tate has been up to the challenge thus far.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The leadoff hitter Connor Tate here in the top of the 9th inning. The pitch from Gervais. Swung on, lifted in the air. Left center field. Wind carrying it back towards center. And Cruz is there. He'll have it for out number 1. So a good battle at the plate. Eventually, Tate flies out to center field. See Corey Collins, who's 0 for 3 today, in the cleanup spot as the DH.
Obviously huge for Gervais to keep the Georgia offense off the scoreboard here, because Barry will lead off the bottom of the 9th inning for LSU, and you want him to be the tying run when he digs in.
Jaden Woods is the left-hander warming down in the pen as a swing and a miss on the first offering from Gervais. Makes it 0-1 to Collins. We saw Woods, who was electric in his first inning after arriving on the mound. Struck out the side, but then got into trouble. Unable to record any more outs. in yesterday's game. 0-1 fouled off the bat and off the helmet of Travinsky. He appears to knock him back just a bit. He appears to be okay as he kind of just lunged down towards the dirt.
And Woods is up for one reason only. That's to make Jacob Berry hit from the right side of the plate. That's obviously the correct thing to do. I know he took him deep yesterday, but most of the power in that bat comes from the left side.
0-2 the count to Collins. Paul Gervais in there on the mound to find 3 quick outs. He's got 1 so far here in the top of the 9th. Ahead in the count, the 0-2. Misses outside. Collins not even appearing to think about swinging. It's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Gervais with the fastball. Inner half of the plate, just above the knees. Collins down on strikes. Gervais, his first punch out in relief. 2 gone here in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, Collins got caught guessing there. Just a fastball right down Main Street. He was looking for something else. Clearly doesn't have a great scouting report because Gervais throws a ton of fastballs. So guessing anything else is probably a fool's errand against the tall right-hander. But he was, and he'll sit down.
That'll bring Parks Harbor, first baseman today, 1 for 3, single, and came around to score in the 5th. Takes a swing in on the hands and fouls it back.
Parks Harbor sounds like a golf course with an expensive greens fee. That's what that sounds like.
Sounds like one you've probably played before.
I'm all for unique names. My name's Hunt. Can't cast stones.
Harbor, a strikeout victim in the 7th inning. The 0-1 in the air to right field, giving chase. Pearson is on the run, and he'll make the grab in right on the track. Excellent play by the freshman right fielder. And that'll be 3 up, 3 down. Just what Gervais was asked to do. LSU trailing by a run. Jaden Woods on his way to the mound for the Bulldogs. It'll be Berry, Doty, and Thompson for the last chance for the Tigers here. Bottom of the 9th coming your way. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball. Rally cap time if you're an LSU Tiger fan. They come into the bottom of the 9th trailing 3-2 to the Georgia Bulldogs in a deciding Game 3 of this SEC series. Jaden Woods takes over, the left-hander. Tigers will have Berry, Doty, and Thompson due up. 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Woods was dynamite in his first inning of work in relief yesterday. came in to spell Jonathan Cannon in the 6th inning, struck out the side for LSU, but there in the 7th inning, ran into a buzzsaw, gave up 2 hits, 3 runs, all 3 earned. He walked 2 batters, and then Jacob Berry from the right side of the plate went over the center field wall with his first home run from the right side of the batter's box. That will be the matchup we see to start the bottom of the 9th inning. Rally cap time all across. LSU fans here at the box. Woods' first pitch. Fastball strike on the inside corner. Again, can really run it down there. 94 miles an hour to delivery from Woods. It's 0-1.
He's got an electric arm. There's no doubt about it. 94 on that one. He can get it up to 95, 96 if he wants to.
The 0-1. High and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, another fastball from Woods.
Woods is 1-0 on the season with a 5.35 ERA. He's worked 18 times, 37 innings, 33 hits, 25 runs, 22 have earned, 22 walks, and 60 strikeouts.
There's a strike at the knees, and Berry really not happy with that call. Thought it was inside, thought it was low, but it's 1-2.
I'm not sure Jeff Head's done a very good job today.
So now, defensive position if you're Berry. Woods, the 1-2, hammered, left field, gonna drop down for a base hit. Tigers have the leadoff man aboard. Potential tying run is on base here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Berry, whatever you need, coach, I'll try to deliver. Berry picks up the hit, his 3rd hit of the day. He's 3 for 4 on the afternoon.
And he's had a couple of those hits from the right side of the plate. We know he homered from the right side of the plate yesterday. We've done all his damage this year from the left side, but that right-handed swing is starting to come into play, and that's why he is going to get a check with a couple of commas in it here in a couple of months.
Cade Doughty to the plate. Cade today 0 for 3. Got a board on a walk in the 7th inning. Certainly due for something. Woods from the stretch will whip it over to first. Berry stands up safely on the first base bag. Coach Johnson out, shouting instructions to Coach Wanaka and Jacob Berry here with nobody out, bottom of the 9th inning. Tigers trailing 3-2 to Georgia. Woods again comes set. Looks to first, now comes to the plate. Off speed, upstairs, and that's the trouble Woods had yesterday in the 7th inning, his 2nd inning of work. Again, the fastball is something to behold. Had trouble with the off-speed deliveries. That resulted in 2 walks and eventually the 3-run home run by Berry.
22 walks is 2nd on this Georgia staff this year. It's been an issue for him this year. It's obviously got great stuff, but you've got to harness it and throw strikes.
The 1-0 to Doughty. Big swing! Could it be? Will it be? It is! Walk it off, Cade Doughty! Tigers win! Tigers win! 4-3! Hey now! Doughty jumps into the arms of his teammates at home plate as LSU takes the series with the walk-off 2-run homer off the bat of Cade Doughty. 4-3 is the final score. Wrap it up in purple and gold. Tigers with the win move to 29-14, 12-9 in SEC play. For the Bulldogs, they head back to Athens, 30-14, 12-9 in SEC action.
Chris, we told you this was a huge weekend for this team. Came down to a huge game for this team, a huge inning for this team, a big swing for this team. Cade Doughty got all of that baseball. You don't want to make too much of it, but this feels like a team that's got to run in it because of all the talent offensively. You saw it there in the last inning. What a huge win for this baseball team. Wow.
Celebrate Tigers, 4-3 a final. We'll be back with more. This is Fighting Tiger Baseball.